All right, guys, we are live. 21-20 season is upon us. Well, it's like 6 games in. And there are up and down teams. And Howie, we're going to speak about your team because I'm kind of shocked. I know other people are shocked that
Me
you're
too.
sitting at 2-4. What the hell's going on?
Uh, I chalk it up to two things. Number one, my passing cohesion took a big hit from where it was in previous years. Uh, at the start of the season, it was down below down below 70. I think it was 68 or so. It's now up to 70 with a couple of changes that I made,
Hmm.
which has cost. And I've thrown a lot more interceptions than last year. I can't remember the number that Donaldson's thrown, but he's throwing more interceptions this year than last year, and I
Yep.
think that cohesion plays a big role in it. Number one, and then number two on defense is I try to do something a little bit different in my defensive scheme, and it clearly didn't work. I tried to blitz a little bit more, play a little bit more cover one because my nickelback was a little bit better suited to play some man to man. And it didn't work. So I've now gone back to my original straight like cover two Tampa two defensive package, and my defense has played a little bit better the last two games, good enough to get the win on both of those. So
Guys, I
that
will
that
be
was
back.
it.
I'll be back.
Yeah,
Of course, when I sit down and do radio, shoot the dog needs out.
but if you look at my history too, ever since I started kind of being a more competitive team, is I have thrown in a stinker year here and there between, you know, good seasons and great seasons and bowl wins. So I was my roster has felt like it's been waiting for a down year, and every single year I think, oh, this is going to be the year. Well, it never is. So this year I went in feeling pretty good after drafting that wide receiver in the first round. It turned out pretty well,
Yep.
and then it's ended up being a down year. So
Well, sir, all you needed to do was play me and whoop the fuck out of me, and that's going to be your launch point. Now, see, because now you've won two in a row, and if you win two more in a row, you're right back in the thick of things. So,
yeah,
fuck you.
I mean, I'm
Piss
not.
off, Howie.
Listen,
That sucked.
suck it, Grim. I'm glad that I
Yeah.
beat you.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna change anything. I'm not gonna panic. I'm just gonna roll with the game plan that I have offensively, and hope that cohesion gets up there and Donaldson stops throwing picks. I'm gonna go back to the cover two Tampa two defense that I've run in the last I think 10 years, and get away from the cover one and the blitzing stuff that I did. And if I win games, I win games. If I lose games, it's a building cohesion year, and I'll just try again next year. So that's it.
You know,
Yeah,
Howie,
I've seen you come back where
Yeah.
you're
Oh, yeah,
down
yeah.
by 4 games, 5 games, and all of a sudden you rip off a couple of wins and then you're in the playoffs. So I've seen your team do that.
Yeah, and I don't,
You know-
don't think I can't remember. I haven't played Cap City yet. I don't think. Where's my schedule?
Right, I have it up here. So you have Cap City on week 10.
Yeah, so I played Cap City once they beat me. So if I split with them, I'll be happy.
Yes.
you know how in our game, usually when someone scores 48 points, they have a couple defensive touchdowns. Not you. Yours were
Yeah.
all offensive, man. My fucking
Yeah.
whatever I rexed was so fucking terrible, dude. I couldn't fucking believe it.
I couldn't believe it when I saw that score either. I wasn't expecting that, and the way my season was going, is I was expecting to lose that game. To be honest.
But you're right. Donaldson is not doing well for you. He's got 10.
No, and it's just the cohesion. I think.
Yeah, because
I think that's all it
you've
is.
been near the top for years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And I think I probably could bump it up a little bit if I went back and I started Antonio Griffin in my 1-1-3 package, but he kind of dropped a little bit this year, and I've got the rookie, and I've got a third-year wide receiver who's route running and third down catching's a little bit better. So I just decided to roll with them, and with those two. And Griffin has started 16 games every single year since he's been drafted, and he's I think 8 or 9 years into the league, maybe 10 years into the league. So that's a lot of cohesion that that you're going to lose with that.
Who's the rookie wide receiver you picked up? What's his name?
DeWalkt.
Oh, right
I
here.
think Cameron DeWalkt.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah, you got him at 23. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. He
No,
dropped
and I
that
didn't-
far.
Howie, I didn't realize until this year, and mostly I was looking at it after you drafted DeWatt, and you've had some great picks over the years. You have some of the better fucking scouting in the fucking league. I wasn't even thinking about that. I always think in terms of like Ben's scouting, and Clay's always had really good, at least offensive scouting. Well, defensive too. But I was looking at your coaches going, holy fuck, man, you're solid. This is why you're getting these guys at pick 123, you know?
Well, okay. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret on this one. Is I had a couple of people who were interested in my draft pick, and this guy wasn't even on my radar. I had a couple of guys who were interested in my draft pick, sent me some messages. One of them was Ben. So I thought, well, shit, if Ben's asking for a draft pick, there's got to be a receiver on the board. So there was this guy, and there was one other guy. I can't remember who it was, but the bars on this guy looked better, and on the high bar sheet and on the scouting, the draft analyzer, this guy had the better number. So I was like, yeah, I'll just go with this guy, and he pops.
Yep, he did. No, and Ben said it in the forums. You know, hey, if me and T-Zac are looking to move up in the draft to get somebody, you better start going through and looking to see who's fucking available, because you know we're going to take a wide receiver. So
Yep.
And he also said that you can expect that they're not giving you their best offer to start with, and you should be asking for more. And these people are not doing that.
So my question is, who was picked? Is it this one? Here we go. Who was the wide receiver picked? You picked this guy.
Yeah.
He fell off. Who was the other guy? Chris picked one. He fell off. So the best one was the one that Howie picked. Yeah. Everyone missed on a wide receiver. Now this guy,
Margaret Knight.
yeah, he's gonna do well. And then we have Tucker's Benz. Yeah,
he doesn't
so
look terrible either. So
they must have all been going after this guy. You're right, Howie.
No, but I mean, a 6'4" rookie who runs a 4.38. Hey, I'll take it.
All right. Well, your
All right,
running
so-
game's not bad. You're fifth in running, sixth in
No.
average per yard, which is nice. Your passing game is just what's holding you back. Your defense,
It's just terrible.
yeah,
The
28
defense
points per game.
started out terrible. Yep.
So let's
And-
get
and-
into this a second here. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Let's go back to DeWalt.
Okay.
Howie, I know for a fact you use the same high bar sheets. DeWalt was the 8th or 9th or 10th receiver on that list. He wasn't even over a 70 bar score. So what made you think he was going to be good? Why did you draft him? Because I know
Well,
Ben.
hold on.
Well, hang on. I know Ben and Malpal and T-Zac have all these fancy, I'm sure they have extra stuff that we don't have. So I'm not surprised that they saw it. Okay. I'm surprised that you did. I'd like to know how.
well, you must have been gone, Bob, but Howie already said that Ben came asking for his pick, so he thought he'd go start looking at wide receivers.
Okay. So you just grabbed one and threw darts at a wall and figured
No.
since he was 6'4"
When
and ran a 4.38, you're going to draft him?
no, his with my scout, his bars looked better, and his bars looked better in the draft analyzer. His scores looked better. His bars looked better to me in that little draft analyzer tool. And let me see if I can find the high bar sheet here if I didn't delete it, and see what he looked at. I can't find it readily available, but I'll look for it when we move on. I'll get back to you on that one.
His route running, do you guys remember where it was at when you guys saw him as a rookie being drafted? Before being drafted, I meant.
Oh.
Was it in the 20s, his route running?
No, for me, For me, I had him. My scout had him 56 to 82, and then his big play was 72 to 98. But I think my offensive coordinator is only 76 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Can I share a screen, Clay?
Sure. You should be able to.
Let me look and see where it is that I can do that.
Oh, you know what? I have to stop sharing. Let me stop sharing. Now see if you can share. If not, let me see if I have to do something for you. Hold on.
You may have to authorize me to share.
Here it is. Try it now.
No.
Then it must be the other one. Hold on. Try it now.
No, unless I'm on the.
Better not be throwing up no titty pictures, Bob.
Why? Would you be into that?
Let me try somebody else. Howie, try to share your screen.
Well, you know, others might be offended.
Go to share screen at the bottom of the page.
Yep.
Wait.
See if you can. I want to make sure it's working.
Okay,
first.
I can do it now.
Oh, okay.
I was in the wrong place. So
This is you.
I want this. Oh, I can't while you are, Howie.
Oh, all right. Well, there's my high bar sheet.
Okay, so where's he at?
He is.
Number 5.
Yeah.
With just under a 70 bar score, which is not normally a first round pick. Not for me. But mine's even worse. Wait till I show you mine.
So deactivate your screen, Howie.
Hold on. Where's my Zoom? Sorry, hold on. I got way too much stuff.
Are you one of those guys that has 50 tabs open?
No. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Where is it now?
Red zone, good. There you go.
So you're looking at Eric Woodson, Bryson Mathis, right?
Yep.
Okay. See how far down the walked is? With a 60.6 now. Maybe your scouts are better than mine.
They
are. Wow, dude. They can't be that much better. My God. What do you got? Like scouts that have 200 scouting bar and mine has a 40?
Yeah, I just mentioned that while you were gone, too. I didn't realize how good Howie's scouts are. I mean, his head coach with the scouting and interviewing, his offensive coordinator's got great fucking scouting.
Okay, but there's only 3 guys on this list that are over 70 bars. And this guy is what? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17. He's 18th.
Yes, but the 3 guys you pointed out.
So now Howie shows him as 5th. He's still only got a 69 bar score.
But the
3, I mean that's throwing a dart at a wall and getting lucky.
Well, and honestly, Bob, it really was a lot. Like I think I'm terrible at drafting. I wish I could say that. I saw this guy's numbers and looked at his bar, and I just knew he was going to pop. Like half of it was luck, but just like I said, based on what my scouts saw with the other receivers that were there. Because like I said, I was getting a couple of emails from people looking to trade up for this pick, and this guy wasn't even on my radar.
Right.
And one of those guys was Ben. So when Ben was trading, I just felt that his with his big play receiving bar and with the
40 time and the height, sure.
And that was the guy that I was going to take the shot at. And if he popped, he popped. And if he didn't, then I would have eaten crow on another wide receiver draft pick, which wouldn't be the first time that I did that, and it's not going to be the last time.
Sure. But you look at this, you say, okay, well, Woodson went 4th. So now I'm sitting at 10, and there's only one guy. I don't know why, but I wasn't a big fan of Arnie Likens. Okay? So I was like, okay, there's only one guy left. If you want a receiver, you better get him. And if you sit at 10, he'll be gone. So I move up to get Bryson Mathis.
Oh, you did? What'd you pay?
Yeah, I moved up.
You did.
that's like I said. I'm like, okay, I just want to know how the hell you saw the guy, because I didn't. I mean, and for what it's worth, MIJB saw him, because as soon as we made our deal, and I took Mathis, he said something about I must also have been looking at the walk and the QB, and I was looking at the QB. Quick got a really nice player there. I did look at him. I just didn't have the guts to do it. But to me, Woodson and Mathis were the only two receivers in this whole draft that were worth anything. After that, it was pot luck.
Now, I know you red zone. If there was no receiver, will you go on defensive tackle or end?
No, probably not.
You would have moved out, correct?
What I would have done would have been one of two things. It would have been a defensive back, or a linebacker. I'm pretty much a 3-4 in all my leagues now. I still have to switch over in NAFL, but I did APFL this year. I've done RZB, and I've been a 3-4 for a couple of seasons now in IHOF. And I have learned you better have good linebackers if you want to run a 3-4. Now, I'm not saying other positions aren't important, but if your linebackers suck, you will too. You better have some zone bars for coverage. You better have somebody that can blitz from the weak side. And in my opinion, you want those bookend outside linebackers. You want TJ Watt and Highsmith like the Steelers have. And I've been trying to head towards that a little bit. I mean, I also would have taken a running back. I wanted that strong second running back that I ended up trading with you for.
Yeah,
but there weren't a lot of backs in this draft that impressed me either, from what I remember. I don't know.
No, there wasn't no good backs. Not really.
No, I'm not a running team, and so he was coming to the end that I was not going to sign him to his contract.
Well, I'm surprised. I was really surprised at that trade, Clay, because he still had 2 years left in his contract. I figured you might play him this year because he actually was coming up last year. You know, he had a good season.
Yes.
So I thought you'd play him again this year and then try to trade him next year if you're going to.
No, what I was thinking about, and I hear what you're saying. Next year comes, no one wants to trade with me. I'm stuck signing him to a contract when I don't want him on my team. Or letting him go.
Yeah, if he's not a fit, you may as well just make the deal and do something.
Or letting him go for less value that I can actually get, because now I'm stuck. So if he wants, let's say, $15 or $18 million, let's just say, I'm not going to pay that for him if I'm not a running team, because then it's just too many offensive players to pay that much money to for me. And Red Zone reached out and said, listen, and I said, listen, I'll take two seconds and a third. Worked out something and made it happen. And then I get to build my team next year and the following year anyway, since I have now my first round picks all back again.
And I have virtually no draft picks next year.
Yeah.
I think I pick in the third or fourth, and then like 5, 6, 7, and that's it. So we won't get much of anything in next year's draft.
Remember what I told you, Grim? Each GM, they all say, what is it worth to me to make my team better?
Yep.
And that's how we all look at it differently. Red Zone says this Nutley, I forgot his name. Newtile will make my team better.
Nick Natiel.
And I will pay Clay this amount. Me, I said I can do something with those 2 second-round picks. I can maybe bundle them up and get 3 second-round picks together and maybe move up in the first round and get a player that I want.
Yeah, like I said, it was a surprise to me, especially with your aging wide receivers. I mean, for fuck's sake, in the 2 years there, he had 2,300 yards rushing, 17 rushing touchdowns. Then he has almost another 1,000 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. So it's like, Clay, what the fuck are you doing, man? But, I understand how you built your team. You're a passing team, but this kid was fucking really good for you,
Mm.
So I was shocked at it. So
hopefully I can pass him on to Red Zone. He'll be good in that conference over there, not in our conference.
Well, he was pretty good yesterday, but that's one game. But I've been tweaking this game plan off and on all season. and I got it pretty close to where I wanted.
So
I'm not going to mess with it too much more, but maybe just one or two things here or there. But
let's quickly run through each division and get to teams on that. And we can start in our conference, NC North. You have Chicago, Iowa, Arizona, Kansas. Chicago sitting on top at 5-1. Iowa 3-2. Arizona 3-2. And
share your screen again, brother.
Hold on, guys.
Chicago's having a pretty good year.
They are.
Let's go.
Running back
again.
he's got is great. All right, I'll be right back 1 second, gentlemen.
How about now? Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
So you got Chicago at 5-1, Iowa 3-2, Arizona 3-2, and Kansas at 3-2-1. Like you were saying, yes, Chicago is doing well with his team. He has put together, listen to whatever folks have told him, other GMs. His quarterback's doing well, 13 touchdowns, 5 interceptions with a quarterback rating of 91.4. His running back is doing very well, Crane, with 4.67 yards per carry at 5 touchdowns. I know his Bankston, his wide receiver, he received from in the trade with
T-Zach for 1-4, yep, which was Schweigert.
And he's always been producing for him. Now he throws it to him primarily, as you can see, 209. This last year was 214 targets. This year is 76. So he's their playmaker on their passing game. However,
and he's done really well. I mean, for all the criticism of that trade, he's milked every ounce out of Banks. I got to give him that. But the truth is still that this is the exception to the rule. These aging receivers normally don't produce like that this deep into their careers. I mean, they don't for me. They get old, they grab a big contract, and they start dropping. Now you've got dead cap because you signed somebody you shouldn't have. And I mean, give it to him for squeezing 3 really good seasons out of the guy. I didn't think he'd get 3. But I still say, when you're trading 1-4, 3 or 4 seasons from somebody's not enough. Schweigert's going to give you a 10 or 12.
We agree that the trade wasn't a good trade because of a first-round top 5 pick is much better than the aging wide receiver. Absolutely. No question asked.
It's not about knocking his player. It's about value.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just more value there at 1-4 than what he got.
So he did the best what he got from it and said, you know what? Let me burn this guy to the ground. And he's been doing well. His defense has come alive. His defense.
He has absolutely gotten every ounce of talent out of Bankston ever since he hit his roster. I got to give it to him. He's squeezed every drop. But, I mean, answer me this, Clay.
Go ahead.
Let's say in next year's draft that Ben has 1-4. So you send Ben a PM and you say, hey, Ben, what do you want for a 1-4? What do you think he'd say? Compared to what he got for 1-4 when Schweigert was there and T-Zach made the trade. What do you think Ben would ask for? That's my point.
Knowing Ben, he would want 4, maybe even 5 first rounds. It depends on who's there to take.
So there was a lot more value there than he got. And that was the problem. It wasn't that he got a bad player. He got a good player. And he's maximized that player.
No, but
he could have got more. He should have got more.
I agree with you, Red Zone, on this. And I think everyone in the league agrees with that. And he even agrees with it. But he's taking it and saying, you know what? Next time I learned the lesson. However, this is the player I traded for, so I'm going to run him into the ground and get as much as I can from him.
And he's done a great job of that. I can't look at the season he's having. And look at the numbers this guy's put up the last 2 seasons. I mean, it's he's balling.
And his defense only allows 12 points. He's number 1. So he revamped his defense. He has revamped his offense because of, I hope, well, he's in my division, so I do hope. However, he starts off strong and then he falls off the cliff at the second half of the season.
And if he needs a nudge, you'll push him, huh?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But
And,
that
we had a similar kind of trade this year with Moontown and Salvador Guzzi, a 32-year-old 10th-year wide receiver who's not putting up the kind of numbers for Moontown that he was before.
Oh no,
We're looking at a top 5 pick, and hey, again, hats off to Coyote Vice. You walked into that playbook, that roster, 2 firsts, and one of them's going to be a top 5 pick, maybe first overall.
what are we talking about?
You hit the lottery, didn't you?
What are we talking about?
Coyote Vice, he hit the lottery.
For what?
The trade
for
that Toronto made before Tzak left with Moontown this year.
What was the trade?
He gave up Salvador Guzzi, who's 32 years old and in his 10th year, and a second, and he got Moontown's first and fourth.
So
And that first is going to be a top 5 pick. Right now, would probably be first overall.
So Moontown got a wide receiver. What's the name of the wide receiver?
Salvador Guzzi.
Guzzi. This guy?
Yes.
Yep.
So how much did he pay for him?
First
He paid
and
a
fourth.
first and a fourth for that guy and a second.
So I didn't mind the Bankston trade. I know a lot of people bitched about the Bankston trade, but Moontown really got a lot worth out of that. But this was a stupid fucking trade. I mean, Moontown has been top 10 pick since they came into the fucking league for 20 seasons now. I mean, even Ben posted that his records in the trade for him there. It's like probably not a fucking good idea.
Was this
Again, look
trade,
at the production this year.
Was this the trade Jugs was talking
Yes.
about?
Well, no, Jugs, I think, was. Yes, this is the one. I'm sorry. I thought he was going back to the Chicago trade, but he didn't. This is the one he was referencing.
Okay. Well, Meyer, his quarterback, Moontown's quarterback, has only thrown 4 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Yards per attempt is 4.73.
So let's trade our first away.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Did Tzak did he hypnotize people? How did he get them to make these trades?
I don't know.
And
It's like what was the thing with Star Wars?
I
These
know.
aren't the drones you're looking for. You don't need them.
and he's at 59 on his route running. That means next season he's going to drop past the 50 mark. So it'll be in the 40s.
Good
on
day.
his
So
route
yeah,
running.
so I don't know if Moontown actually reached out to Tzak for this, because I know Tzak will reach out to other teams and say, "Hey, I got this guy. Do you want him for whatever?" I remember when he had Derek Whitney, he was trying to get rid of him. He fucking sent me a PM. He's like, "Hey, let's make Williamsburg fucking great again. Let's give me a third for this guy." And I'm like, "Fuck it, why not?" And we made the playoffs with him that year. So I don't know who initiated this trade, but I just don't think it was a good one for Moontown.
I made a post after Jugs. I was like, okay, look, I'm famous for trading away first round picks and future firsts. I've done it off and on for years in multiple leagues, and I have paid the price for doing it. But when I do it, it's still usually for someone who hopefully is 6th year or less, definitely has to be 8th year or less. And I mean, you're talking about guys that are in their 10th years and they're 32 years old. There's no way I'm putting a first up for that guy. I can lose without him. I don't need him to lose.
Yeah, he's
If I'm
not
trading a first, I want someone who's going to help me win games. A young stud player.
He's not putting up numbers. He only has 201 yards. And for someone that's 32 years old, his route running, you want in the 70s or 80s, because when he keeps dropping down, it'll go from the 70s down to the 60s. So you have him for at least a couple of years before he hits below 50. He's already at 59. So next season, he's going to 48, maybe 47. He is putting up numbers on my 4th wide receiver is putting up the same numbers. Let's see what he is. And that's not good for your top wide receiver. Here's my guy. He's only in, by the way, because I lost my top wide receiver to injury. But he already put up 285 yards and 2 touchdowns. and he's my
I just,
fourth wide
I
receiver.
just, I think that people need to just stop and say, hey, you know what? There's a reason why this guy's coming, and yeah, I'm going to give you 10 things just for one. Okay, so there's 11 items in this trade. Okay, hypothetically, what is the one item in the trade that's worth the most? Of course, it's the one you're giving up. So they're giving you a pile of dog meat and taking something good from you. It's quality, not quantity.
Yeah, he needed those picks too to improve his team more. Sucks. Well, again, a learning experience. He won't do it again, I'm sure.
I would say that that's definitely a lesson that he won't need to be taught again. No, this season's he's gonna be pretty pissed on draft day.
Well, going down back into the division, so we know Chicago's doing well. Iowa has been bringing their team along. Arizona, who, by the way, Melman, congrats on winning the bowl to you.
Yeah, he's kind of in trouble, isn't his quarterback hurt?
Yes, it is, actually. But
You sound so happy about that, Clay. I swear.
no,
Yes, it is.
he,
Did you hear that, Grim?
he feels he works
did.
around it. It doesn't matter. This is a guy he had in. He still won the game. So
Well, I mean, I just thought it was funny. You had such a bounce in your voice. Yes, he is.
hey, if my competitors can fall off the cliff, yes. How actually I like this, by the way, because you get to scratch and claw and beat each other in the face to get to the top. So I like that. You kind of get the chance to kick each other's ass. So we will see. It's going to be an interesting race in our division on that front. Let's jump down to NC South. We got Cap City at 4-1, Outer Banks at 3-3, Texas at 2-4, which we spoke about, and Moontown at 0-6. Now I'm kind of shocked about Cap City, by the way.
He jumped out.
He
had a great start.
Dude, he's been doing the same thing that Chicago does. He jumps out in the beginning and then falls off the cliff at the end.
He's got a second-year quarterback who is 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, quarterback rating of 103.
Yep.
His running game is 3.63. He's ranked 25th, so it's mostly his passing game. But his defense has given up. Well, his defense has given up 25 points.
I really looked at that QB. He just grabbed him before I could. That's why I looked at the one this year that Quick ended up with. I was like, do I do it? I didn't. It's two years in a row.
But he's given up the same amount of points as he's putting up. That means his team might end up as an 8-8 team or a 7-9 team if he stays on this path. Just like you're talking about, Howard, Grim.
Yep. Is Chris here? He's in here.
Chris?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard you
listening
talk.
intently.
Okay.
I haven't had anything to say yet.
Yeah. All right. Makes sense. Just like
I haven't
coulda swore he
disagreed
was in here.
wholeheartedly on anything that I've heard, and I haven't felt like I had anything important to add. So I'm just here.
All right.
We're
Good enough for me.
Mark me as present.
We are just going quickly through the teams just to discuss. By the way, Wilkinson is on Outer Banks, but he is not doing so well. 10 touchdowns to 8 interceptions with a 4.85 yards per attempt.
Not as good as last year, is he?
No.
What he did to me. Come in and played really good, and then down the drain.
He's sitting at 3-3 in the 500 range. And then you got Texas, which we spoke to Howie. He told us his issues, but he's going to keep it the way it is. And then we have Moontown.
67 QBR?
Yes, 67 QBR Wilkinson.
Yeah, he's getting old. He dropped down in ratings a bit this season again too. So
Sorry, Haynes.
it was all right. He had a good season last year.
He did.
Almost 5,000 yards, 32 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
Oh, he made me look silly. No doubt about it.
And then Moontown, he's probably frustrated with his team right now, which we just showed.
Yeah, that's every year though.
Now we go to NC East. Frederick at 4-2, Williamsburg, Grimm at 3-3, Chesapeake at 3-3 with their rookie quarterback, and Brooklyn is at 2-6. We're gonna go to Frederick, then we're gonna jump to you, Grimm.
All right.
So, Batsky, his
Didn't
quarterback,
Frederick, his QB also dropped, didn't
did it.
he? I think he said so.
Baskey? Yeah, he's down to, well, website says 29 to 29.
Ooh.
So.
Ooh.
But
Yeah.
he's never been that high anyways. I think last year he's in his 30s, wasn't he?
Yeah, last year was his best year. He put up 47 touchdowns to 22 interceptions. Not bad. But this year he's got 14 touchdowns, 14 interceptions with a quarterback
as he
rating of
throws.
74.
That's a real problem as much as he throws.
He's on the T-Zac game plan.
Uh-huh. Almost play for play.
Yeah, because if you look at it, he doesn't look at his running back. Only 15 carries total, and he's on game 6. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, game 6.
He's played 6. Yeah.
So he's on the T-Zac game plan about barely running and just passing. Because I know against me, I think he had 60-something passing attempts.
I just can't do that. I can't make it work. We end up throwing picks. It gets ugly.
His defense is doing well. 18 points per game, allowing per game.
That's what's saving him right now, I would say.
No, his offense is not bad. 26 points he's putting up per game. He's ranked number 7 in doing
Yeah, but he's
so.
got the same amount of picks as he does TD passes, and nobody's running for any. So he's giving one away every time he scores one. That got to be the defense saving him.
But I've noticed.
Yeah, he's got a really good D.
Yeah, his defensive end already has 5 sacks, 5.5 sacks. So he's almost have 1 per game. But I mentioned this to you guys in text. I said, you notice how all the passing teams haven't won a bowl.
Yep, that is true.
Shh. Quiet.
So, yeah.
Now, Grim,
Yeah, don't jinx us, man.
there's no such thing as jinx. That's not how science works. Come on, guys.
Oh, okay.
That's how science works.
What are you, Sheldon Cooper?
I'm not trusting the science, Clay.
If you say it, it doesn't change it. Grim, you want to tell us about your team? By the way, I'm impressed with your quarterback. By the way, let me bring him out.
Yeah.
Grimm's quarterback has thrown 18 touchdowns to 6 interceptions with a quarterback rating of 115.
An overall rating of 29.
Yards per attempt, 9.67.
How are you doing this, Jim? I want to know.
So,
I mean, I'm going to use your language, okay? What the fuck? Okay, I want to know how you're doing this.
So I haven't changed my game plan on offense. He's just running the system that I try to run. I think, well, I can't say that. I added a couple plays to the fullback, try to get him more and whatever. We're still running a shit ton. Worcester's getting about 30 carries a game, but he's doing shit because my O-line just fucking sucks this year. It's terrible. So when I picked this guy up, I was talking with Chris. And I'm looking at him in free agency. And there's a guy, Tyrus Dennis, who I think went down again this year, but had all these bars. And he was rated 45. And then there's this guy with no bars. He's rated 42. And then there's a guy below him with a shit ton of bars that was rated 40. So I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, okay, there's some hidden shit here. He's one of those guys. His average, before it dropped this year, his average interception before he hit the team was a 70, and after PS2 now he's down to a 57. So I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe there's just something hidden about this guy, and I think I can get him to work in the system. And like I said, I haven't changed anything, and he's fucking playing great. So I just need Worcester to step it up.
I don't know what you saw in this guy besides what you just said, but there's nothing there.
No, he's a
He's
kick
got a
holder.
0 sense rush, a 0 timing, a 2 third down bar, a 0 deep pass, a 0 screen pass. He's a
Yep.
9 scramble frequency, so he can't. Not only can he not sense the rush, but he can't do anything about it when it shows up, even if someone tells him,
Well,
"Dude, they're
I
coming."
know, and he's only took 13 sacks this year too.
Thing is,
So that's like
Grimmer's been on this mission for like 10 seasons now to find some scrub ass shitty quarterback that can actually do well, so we can say, "See, I can win with anybody."
wait.
Aside
10
from
seasons?
Maselli. Who are these? All these scrubs: Christensen, Maselli. I mean, who was the other one that you had that was just terrible that you tried to win with?
Oh God, Chris, it's been longer than 10 seasons.
Yeah, you just refuse to get a decent quarterback. You just
Delay
keep
Christian.
on
Well,
trotting out one
Christensen was a
crappy
first round
quarterback
pick.
after another.
Yeah, Christensen was a first round pick, and he took a dump after his first
Yeah, that's
PS2.
true.
So
That's
that
true.
kind
You
of
tried.
sucks. Yeah, I tried. Well, yeah, Maselli. I had Doug Hardy for a while, but he
Yeah.
made 2 playoffs. I had some Daniels kid. He made the playoffs, and then Freeman.
Yeah, but
Freeman was decent though.
all those quarterbacks you guys named off had better bars
Than this guy.
than this guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What are you paying him? Let me see.
Oh,
You want me to
nothing.
see? It's
6
like
million.
10 cents.
Yeah. In today's money, yes, 10 cents.
Barely veteran minimum.
6.2 million.
bonus.
And then,
And he's a mentor.
and
Okay,
then
but you realize he thinks he's a starter now. So when you get
Well, I
the
don't
next,
care.
when you
He
get
can
the
hold
next
out next season. I'll just
he's
bring the
gonna
next
hold
guy
out.
in. Yeah,
gonna hold out.
I'll bring the next guy in. I don't give a fuck.
and then you look at his wide receivers, yards per target. Strickland, 11.80. Rucker, 13.38.
Look at Hastings'
Kuzma.
average per attempt.
Yeah, I went over that, 9.67.
Unbelievable. He's almost averaging 300 yards passing a game.
Yep. And that's on top of Worcester running 30 times a game. I tell you what, this guy can't scramble worth a shit.
Well, you're putting up 30 points per game. You're ranked number 3 in that. Your defense allows
It's
30
terrible.
points a game, and that's the reason why you're 3-3. If not,
Yes.
you would be undefeated.
You should go play the lottery.
Ah. No, I bought some Gopher 5s the last couple weeks. Didn't win those, so.
Go for 5s or shit. What do you win? Max 100 grand?
No, that gets up to 5. I've seen shit. Last year was up to $1 million. But either way,
Yeah.
if it gets up to $500,000 and they take half of that, $250,000 is life changing.
Yeah, but if you're going to spend $1 on a lottery ticket, why not get the Powerball?
Because Powerball are $2 a ticket.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Definitely
Yes.
wouldn't want to double your investment to win 400 times
Oh,
more.
my
Powerball
God.
and Mega Millions are both $2 a ticket, so I'll take the cheap one.
I love watching these two go at it. It's fucking hilarious.
His
So-
logic
That's
is
great.
shit.
Oh, by the way, guys, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's since we haven't
Yeah,
spoken.
you too, brother. You,
You too, buddy.
Um,
I had COVID for Christmas.
yeah, that's fun.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. My birthday was the 23rd. Christmas Eve was the 24th. Christmas Day is the 25th. And I had COVID from about the 21st through the 29th.
Yeah, just kind of just wrecked your whole fucking week.
Oh, yeah.
See, no,
Fun
I'd have
stuff.
been fine with that. I don't want to go anywhere for the holidays, so I'd have been forced to stay home, and that would have been perfect.
It's true. It is true. Although you would have had to gone out and work anyway, so.
I don't care about the work part. I just don't want to have to go to my family get-togethers.
Aha. Thank God
Fun.
none of them are going to listen to this.
Bunch
No,
of them,
well,
bunch
no.
of relatives you don't really care for. Or,
No,
he-
I love them. I love them all
yeah.
just fine. I just don't like people in general. I don't want to be around them, especially if they want to talk to me.
Yeah, it's like Chris really only talks to me and his wife, and that's it.
Yes,
That's really
if given
close
the
to
choice, in person anyway.
it.
And then he
Something like
makes,
this is different. You guys can't see me while I'm flipping you off and making faces at you. And
yes, he makes his special appearances and does his chats here.
you don't know
Funny
how
stuff.
lucky you are, folks.
funny stuff.
Yeah, so anyways, I got to fix my fucking defense. I know every fucking year I'm terrible at stopping the pass, but this year has been fucking atrocious. So atrocious that I tried to Rex the defense a couple times, and I have not done that. I can't even remember the last time I Rex the defense.
You can't win
And-
ranks in defense. It
No,
won't work.
and I mean, it worked against OBX. We fucking slaughtered him. He can do shit. I did it against Howie. Obviously got our ass kicked. And then I fucking did all my game plan and shit. Forgot to fucking hit the export button because it was fucking 3 a.m. when I tried to do it. And we whooped fucking Chesapeake. Chesapeake couldn't do shit on offense until the fourth quarter. So I didn't get the whole thing. But I went through today and I'm like looking at shit going, oh shit, I had weird guys in weird fucking places that shouldn't have been playing where they're fucking playing. So I've got my depth chart straightened out on defense. I think we might be able to do better. I mean, Jops is going to, Cushman's going to throw for 350 and 3 TDs against us. Hopefully,
do you lock? Do you check those boxes and lock players in place?
Yep, I locked. But something fucking happened. There was a guy that got injured, and I think maybe when I forgot to export it, shuffled my shit for a game. And again, we beat quick, so I was like, maybe I don't know, but I went in there and it looks like too that I also from preseason forgot to put a linebacker in a couple spots where I wanted them to play instead of the other one. So it's like, But you know who I like though, Clay, on my team right now is that fucking that Bovey kid.
Bovey, where is he?
Yeah, he's down on the bottom there.
Oh, this guy,
second
the linebacker?
one up. Yes, this kid is small, and I got him playing defensive end. He's doing okay.
Not
he's
bad.
kind of fell off the last couple of games, but man, he was getting sacks and blocks and hurries and knockdowns. I'm like, holy shit! So,
no, he's going to be good. You got him in the second round, pick number 13. If he gets that pass rush technique up, would you move him over to
end
weak line?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to actually move him to end.
Howie just lost his internet, so he's no longer with us. I don't know if he's coming back or not.
He's in a bad area. He's in Vermont. That's why.
Yeah, they probably got a bunch of that fucking storm shit up there.
Yeah. It was cold here today.
It was.
What's cold?
Yeah, what's cold?
What's cold, Bob?
Dude, I didn't have a thermometer. I was at work. I'm working weekend security part-time, and I'll tell you what. You got to take a walk every hour, and it's not a lot of fun. I was like, son of a bitch, can I get back to that guard shot?
Yeah, I'm guessing was probably 30 degrees. I mean,
it was a lot more than 30.
It was more than 30?
A lot less.
Oh, okay.
I
was going to say, because, man, today I think...
Put it this way, it was cold, and it was kind of spitting like half rain and half ice. I was not thrilled.
Yeah, right on. It was like, I went out and about today for a little bit, and it was 2 below. So I'm like, it don't get cold.
2 below. Wow.
Howie says if he can get back on, he will. If not, it was nice talking to all of us again.
All right.
Yeah, you and Chris are in the same location, so 2 below 0. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't below 0, so you guys have me beat there.
Chris is down in the prairie though, so he gets the 40-mile-an-hour wind constantly. Yeah. So that's crazy.
I can't compete with below 0. That's fucking cold.
Yeah, yesterday was 13 below, and there was pretty much steady 20 to 25 mile an hour winds with gusts up to 40. So
wow,
it was it only got like 2 inches of snow, but visibility was 0 all day because it was just blowing.
Great. That's what sucked today was the wind.
Hibernation weather. You just hibernate in your home.
The prairie ain't no joke.
Well, that's what Chris says. He didn't want to go nowhere. Well, I'm right there with him. Is that cold? It's over.
I would try to buy the
I did
biggest
get out and
home.
Plow the driveway, got all the drifts plowed out, and I mean that was fun. I enjoy that stuff, but as long as I'm in a heated vehicle or only traversing 15 or so feet through the out of doors, that's pretty much the extent of my outdoor activities.
See, I would try to buy the biggest home so I can walk around my home because I'm going to be snowbound in. It seems like.
Yep.
I want to know when we're going to have a field trip and get to go to Clay's Chateau. Did you ever buy one?
I have not.
There's no fucking way I'm going anywhere near Europe for the next 10 years. Fucking going down, dude.
Hey, that's
what when Clay said that, I'm like, Clay, don't do it, man. Don't buy a house in Europe, dude.
Just
get one in Florida.
There you go. I haven't done it yet.
Have you heard that one?
What's that?
That the United States is going to have 50 individual countries like Europe. All the states are going to be a country.
I can actually see that happening.
We're going to separate into regions for sure by 2032. be a totally different country. You'll have the West, I think the Southeast and the Midwest will combine. Then you have that upper East Coast where you guys are. That's just you want to get out of.
Yeah, I'm going to have to leave, huh?
Me and you talked about that extensively, Bob, one night when you called me. So,
Think we'll be, where are we going? Texas?
yeah, I'm Florida. I'm fine with Florida.
Yeah.
Or Georgia or Alabama, any of those fucking places.
I don't believe you guys haven't moved there yet, because you guys in that -2 degrees, and Chris, what was it again? -12, 13.
Yeah, 13
you said
last
13,
night. Yeah, yesterday.
13.
Yeah.
I don't know how
we
you
get that
guys
every
do it.
January. Every January, there's like a 1 to 2 week stretch that's below zero for 2 weeks, and then you're back up into the 20s and 30s. And
Well, yeah, I mean, we really lucked out this year. We missed winter for 2 months. I mean, usually we get snow in November and it gets cold, and then it's freezing in fucking December and snow. I got like 1.5 inches of snow here so far. I can still see grass poking up. And then last week, I think the high, one of the days last week was like 30. So we really had some good weather here this year.
It's been even crazier than that in Pennsylvania the last 3 or 4 years. I think last winter, we only had like 3 days all winter where there was any accumulation of snow at all. Now, you get some cold temperatures, but, I mean, I remember when I was a kid, it would snow at fucking Halloween.
Grimmer keeps trying to convince me that we all need to move south, but
Oh,
the way
Texas.
I'm looking at it, if global warming keeps up, I'm all for it, because pretty soon I'm going to have a really prime piece of real estate here in the tropical Minnesota area. So
That was sarcastic as fuck.
what?
Global warming keeps up. Get the fuck out of here. All right, I'm going to go smoke so we can move on from my team. But yeah, I like that kid. We need to fix our defense, our pass defense. Turnovers, we're -2, so that's not good. I need to get some more turnovers. I think some of those games that we actually won, we were starting to get turnovers and shit. But yeah, good stuff. And I'll be right back.
You guys got it. All right, guys. We have Oakland sitting at 3-1-1, Fairbanks at 2-4, Colorado at 1-4, and Hanalei at 1-5. I'm kind of shocked at Colorado, by the way, at 1-4.
He made a post today. What did he say? His QB has 1 touchdown and 10 interceptions. He says everything's going according to plan. I'm sure he was kidding. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Really? Oh, yes. Wow. Diaz.
What? I thought he was a pretty good quarterback.
He did well from other years. Look at last year, he was 91 rated.
I don't know.
That's why I was shocked where he's sitting at right now, 1-4. I knew Jugs was going to be up there 3, at the lead. What's his name? Hasn't been around. Malpau.
No.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Grimmer was thinking that was who was, when he first heard that Coyote was getting a team, he was thinking it was maybe Hanley, because Malpau hasn't been around for a season and a half. But I'm pretty sure he's grandfathered in. Only way he gets rid of him is if he says, hey, I'm not going to play anymore.
Yeah, he probably has things to do. He probably reached out to Ben saying, listen, I have things to do. I'll be back. So just keep me on autopilot for now.
Yeah, well, and that's pretty
I'm
common.
surprised T-Zac didn't do the same thing. I mean, let's say he gets on the waiting list in a month or two. He's like, whatever happened, work got busy or whatever, it's calming down. I want to get back in. It's going to take a while, so let me jump on the waiting list. Okay. You're going to be what, 11th or 12th? You're looking at 2.5, maybe 3 calendar years, and that's if you're lucky.
Well,
why wouldn't you just keep the team and go on autopilot for you? I don't understand.
Maybe Ben won't do it for everybody.
Well, I mean, if you put a game plan in week 1 and you check for injuries, what's that take? 5 minutes a day?
Yeah, true.
I mean, you can keep your team. I was a dumbass. I should have kept Chicago.
Maybe some people don't think they're coming back for a long, long time.
Well, 2.5, 3 calendar years is a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it this way. I made a post. It took me 8 months from the time I posted I wanted to get back into I got a team. And it took Coyote Vice 8 months from then until now. That's 16 months. It's a year and 4 months. The last two openings.
Yeah, I was actually shocked T-Zac dropped out because I saw Welcome Coyote. I'm like, what team is he taking?
Yeah.
And then I looked and I'm like, wow, T-Zac left.
Yeah, did he leave RZB yet, Bob?
No.
No, not that I've seen.
Or Chris is here too. He's over there. So.
No.
Oh, Clay's
I don't
over there too.
I don't know.
No, Clay's not in RZB anymore, are you, Clay?
No.
Oh,
He
okay.
didn't stick around this season.
Well, who said it? Was it you, Chris? He probably just got sick of like all the trades that didn't go through this year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think, he was...
There was a lot of trades that got canceled.
He was confused because historically, Ben's been pretty rigid on following exactly what it says in that thing, with the 55 rating being kind of the benchmark. And he said, I think maybe he's thinking it's a little too arbitrary now. Because, I mean, even though I understand what was being...
You got real quiet, brother.
Even though I understand what was being said about that Walls trade, he was still only a 49, not even a fully developed 49 rated wide receiver. And I think T-Zac thought it was a little too arbitrary. Yeah. So I don't know, but and that might not be it at all. I mean, I don't have any insight.
Yeah, I have no idea why.
I think it irritated him a little bit.
With the trade, me and Red Zone was speaking, and I said, and I think I texted this, it shouldn't be allowed, this is just my take, that I can trade away a high-rated veteran player and then draft someone not knowing what that player is going to turn out to be, even though it says it might be a 58 rated player.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean it's going to hit that mark. It should be that player must be at that number, within the 50s mark. It can't be that he has a possibility of getting there. And if you do that, you can really eliminate all this. Like, I'm going to trade this player, I'm going to get some draft picks, and I'm going to pick up a player in draft, and that is the player that's replacing my veteran. It should not be allowed. And that's my take on this.
Well, if you remember,
go ahead.
Okay, when Cushman got traded, he was traded for draft picks because that guy had 1-1. And then he traded 1-1 to Ben, which is how Ben got Brady. And then he took Donovan at 1-4 after he screwed up and took a tackle at 1-3 and almost didn't have a quarterback at all. And all of those trades were allowed. So I'm a big guy. The thing that I'm big on is precedent. You allow this to happen, and now you've set a precedent. So the next guy says, well, wait a minute, why can't I do what this guy did it? Now, I'm not leaving IHOF. If Ben tells me the next 10 trades I make, they're denied because you're a dick, Bob. Okay, I'm staying anyway. Okay? But my point is, the rules are the rules. I'm going to live by them. Okay? But they need to make sense. And I think most of the time, whatever Ben decides, I normally shake my head and say, yeah, he's right. That's the way to do it.
Well,
so I mean, I know Chris had some questions or kind of sarcasm as far as our trade play, and I don't blame him. Okay, in his shoes, I would too. But I mean, to me, if you read that rule, it basically says you can't trade a starting player just for draft picks unless you have somebody to replace them.
That's not what it says.
You can't say two 37-year-old players, two 37 rated players that are both older and a lot closer to retirement are better than that receiver just because they had more catches last year. There's more value in that player. And it's the same thing we talked about earlier with 1-4 and this pick that Moontime traded. It's the value that you should be getting more.
Yeah. I don't know.
To me, I like
consistency. I like consistency, and he's consistently for all of the seasons. I've played in a lot of Ben leagues. I've probably got 200 seasons under my belt with GML and the cap.
I think he's very consistent,
and he's always been very consistent about that 55 rating being the benchmark. This is honestly the first time I've seen a player that was rated lower than 50 get blocked under that rule. And it seems very arbitrary now, because now you have to factor in, okay, what if my scout sees this guy as a 46 rated guy, but Ben's beautiful scouts see him as a 50 rated guy, and now I have to try and figure out how to base my trades on Ben's scouts because Ben sees guys different than mine. That 55 rating was at least a benchmark that you could live with. I don't know. It just seems very arbitrary to me, and I think in the end, the spirit of the rule to me is, he's trying to prevent people from hamstringing their team and making trades that make them less competitive.
From
Then
tanking.
he allows things like trading away a first round pick for a 32-year-old wide receiver who's in decline. And I would say that losing that first round pick in Moontown is a whole lot more detrimental to his team in the long run than me losing Chance Walls at wide receiver.
See, now that I would agree with.
So again, I mean, I'm fine with the rules. They're Ben's rules. I'm not bitching about it. I just think it's very arbitrary and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Particularly if I decide not to re-sign Chance Walls because I don't want him. I end up losing him into free agency for absolutely nothing, whereas at least I was going to get a second round pick for this guy. So I mean, it's very arbitrary, and it's so it doesn't allow for there to be a thought process involved. I mean, in terms of what someone's trying to do with their team, it just seems kind of arbitrary. But again, I'm not bitching about it. It is what it is.
Well,
I
let's
don't
say
think
that
Wait,
you're
hold on
correct.
for a minute, Red Zone. You said something, Chris. You said, and I think Red Zone said the same thing. You're protecting the other GM from ruining their team. So my question would be, if a team has a 32 rated quarterback and he tries to sell it to some other team that is always going to have a top 10 pick, should Ben block it and say, you can't trade any first round picks for any player that's 32 years older and up?
Well,
For
no,
protection,
I'm not.
for protection against you from hurting your team
No,
later in the future. No, I'm asking you guys, should that be a rule?
I don't think
No.
it should be a rule.
No.
I don't think it should be a rule. I think because it's again, it ends up being too arbitrary because one 32-year-old guy is going to be a whole lot different than another 32-year-old guy. So I mean, you end up having too many gray areas. I don't think that he should have been able. I don't think he should have traded for Guzzi, but I don't think he should have not been allowed to trade for Guzzi. He
You
was doing
can't
what
put
he
a
thought was best
list
for
of
his
10
team.
things for Ben to police on every trade.
Yeah, well, and again, if I don't think that he was trying to tank by making that trade. It doesn't make sense.
No, he wanted to
Tank
win this
by
year.
giving up a first round pick. You're not tanking that way, But I also don't think that, if I had traded Chance Walls, that it would have meant I was tanking, which is really what the spirit of Ben's rule is. He doesn't want teams tanking. He doesn't want teams, diminishing their competitiveness. Whereas I honestly think all these trades of first round picks are much more detrimental to the team losing those first round picks.
And you're right.
Half of the trades that get blocked based on the ratings factor.
Well, let's say you're right that a part of why T-Zach left had to do with what he felt was
And again, I should specify,
arbitrary.
I don't know that at all. That's
But
just
let's
an
just
inkling.
let's just say maybe you're right. Okay, so this is a guy that traded a bunch of late round picks and mid round picks to get 1-4 and threw Bankston in, and ended up with Schweiger, and then he traded Guzzi and a second to get what's right now is 1-1, but clearly looks like a top 5 pick. But he's mad about somebody else making a trade that might make them better. That's
No, I don't think.
come
I
on,
don't think
dude.
he was
Really? Come on.
He wasn't mad about a trade making somebody else better. He was. I like again, and I don't want to speak for him because I don't know that it had anything at all to do with it.
Well, he made a comment about the trade that Clay and I made. He just deleted it before anybody else saw it, but I saw it.
Well,
I
I think his
screenshotted
point.
it. I
think
know
his
exactly
point with that was when Ben blocked the Walls thing. He blocked it because route running is key, and Walls had a high route running bar. When it came to the trade for Newtile, and I think we can all agree that hole recognition is the premier bar on a running back.
Yep.
Newtile had a much bigger hole rec bar than the guy that Clay has the ended up getting him to make the trade. With that young guy you got, Clay, I don't remember his name, but his whole recognition bar is tiny.
Oh, the
so
one
it's
I
still,
picked him free agency.
Yeah, I mean, he still isn't what I would consider to be in reality. He's still not a suitable replacement for Newtile.
This guy right here.
Clearly inferior.
This guy right here.
He's clearly inferior to Newtile.
I already bitched at Clay for trading Newtile this year anyway. So
yeah, but my point is Ben allowed that to go through because he said, okay, you've got your young guy who's got a potential future 52, but if you're basing it on what matters for a running back, like you are with a wide receiver, saying that his route running is so high that we're gonna block this trade because you don't have anybody with route running near that high, well, then he should still not have allowed this trade to go through based on hole recognition, because this guy is clearly nowhere near as good as Newtile. He's not nearly as good. Just like the wide receivers I had on my team, aside from Walls, weren't nearly as good as Walls at route running. So again, it just seems very arbitrary.
Yeah, that makes sense. But even to Clay's point about how,
I disagree.
If you look at the Cushman trade, right? Remember when Fort Wayne traded Cushman to Jobs?
And that's exactly my point.
He drafted Andy Donovan, who at the time was showing up going to be 40 of 60 something before he's not even developed yet. He just drafted him. He picked his quarterback. He was immediately allowed to trade Cushman, and that was a huge detriment to the fucking team because Cushman's a good fucking quarterback. And just because you can't make him work.
That's not how it went.
That's not how it went down. He traded Cushman first. Then he traded 1-1, which was Brady. And then he drafted Andy Donovan.
So
he didn't have a replacement quarterback when Ben traded him for that first round pick.
So
which is what I don't understand.
But he said all along he was going to take the other QB.
Yeah, and then he
just screwed up and took a tackle and then had to trade for another pick again. But
he wouldn't. We all knew he was going to take Donovan.
So who was 55 rated on Fort Wayne's team when he was allowed to trade Cushman?
No one.
Colin Shelton and Gustavo Ragsdale were the only two other guys there.
Brady.
That's crazy.
He still had 1-1 when he traded Cushman.
Yeah, he still had 1-1 when he traded Cushman.
Okay.
But when he traded 1-1 to Ben, he didn't have anybody. Cushman.
And Donovan was picked after both those trades. So
I
the point is, the point that Clay and I made was
trade. Ben was a running back that's trade if it was anybody other than Ben.
Well, but I mean, the point Clay and I made is, here's a running back that's 50-ish. That's what you're talking. Go read the rules. It says 50-ish.
No, it says 55-ish.
Okay.
There's a difference. I mean, 49 is not 55-ish. 49 is 50-ish.
Okay, well, I'm seeing 51 and Clay sees 52. I mean,
now, when I made the trade, he was 43 of 48, and that's what the website showed, and that's what Ben showed.
I'm talking about Wynn.
Who?
The running back.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So, yeah, but he's, again, he's, okay, so he's possibly a 52. I had a wide receiver on mine that was, aside from Walls, that had a future potential of 50 at the time. Now, he wasn't going to have a big route running bar, but he still had a future of 50 for development, and it was blocked.
But back to Clay's point, we don't know that he's 52. What if he pops next year and he ends up 60?
What if my wide receiver that was there, aside from Walls, would have popped and been a 60 instead of a 50?
You didn't have another 50 receiver.
I had a young guy to my coach, showed that he had a future potential of 49.
Who?
Oh, for fuck's sake, let me pull him up here. Nappy check. He's gone down now, but my coach saw him as a future 49. Now my coach sees him as a future 43.
All I have is a league scout. I see 33, 44, 44, 43. I don't know whether that was better or worse, or how good your scouts are compared to mine.
My scouts saw him a little higher, but again, that's the thing, is I don't know what other people's scouts see. I know what my scout sees. And he basically had a future that was 2 2
Be right
points
back.
lower than what Walls
Okay.
was showing for me.
No,
My argument for what you just said is this: Isaac was willing to give you a second-round pick for this chance Walls.
Okay.
Is there any other receiver on your team that he'd give you a second-round pick for?
I mean,
No.
that's not how I have to try and figure out trades. I mean, that's ridiculous because there's
You're
a lot of
trading your
reasons
best
that people-
receiver, and you don't have 2 or 3 guys better than him.
and
And that's how the rule reads. You can't
and
trade a clear starter.
Clay traded his best running back, and he doesn't have anybody on his team before or after that young guy he picked up that's anywhere near as good as
That's
Newtile.
exactly why he went and picked that young guy up. So that
He's
he
still
would have
not
somebody.
anywhere near as good as Newtile.
now I'm going to speak because I hear you guys going back and forth, and
We disagree. That's
all
all there is to it. We disagree.
Well, I don't know how you can say that a 62 rated stud running back is comparative to a 52 possible non-stud running back that has no hole recognition.
So now
Read the rule.
Yeah, and that's why
Word for word, read the rule.
And this is why
Okay, Bob. We'll just stop on this one. I'll be done.
This is why I brought this up about being able to get somebody who hasn't reached that potential yet. It becomes an issue. My picking up Win, he's going to help me in my passing game, but he's not. But he's not as good, absolutely, as Newtile. 1,000%. Agree 1,000%. However, I won't be able to afford him later on. And if I'm not going to be a running team and I can't afford him, he will be hitting the market, or I would get crappy draft picks for him because I have to get rid of him right away. So getting rid of him now and trying to get a player that can help my passing game, running back, help my passing game, that's why I had to go after Win. Now, if Win wasn't out there, I even told Red Zone, I'm not going to be able to make any trade because I'm not going to be able to replace him with a proper player that can help my team at the end of the day.
And if he would have rejected the trade again, I'd have said, okay, fine.
Uh,
And I would have been fine as well.
Yeah, and again, I am fine with the Walls. I mean, it's Ben's league, and I respect him, and I respect what he's trying to do. I don't agree with the decision on it, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm fine with that, but I do think it's very arbitrary, and it's you know, like I said, it's a, I guess what would be a irritation point for me, but not nearly enough to make a difference in whether I play or not. I mean, I still love the league.
Ben might make a rule change by saying, or clean it up by saying you have to have a player at that number and not a potential of hitting that number. Because then that
Or
will
just have an actual solid number.
Yeah, a solid number. That way eliminates everything.
Well, it eliminates drafting a player to replace the guy you're trading.
Or free agency. Either or.
I think the only thing I think Ben needs to do is actually have a specific number, not a 55-ish. Because if 49 is 55-ish or 48 is 55-ish, is 45 55-ish? What if the best receiver on my team was a 45 and he had a 100 route running, and the next best receiver on my team was a 40 and he had a 30 route running? Would he still block a trade for that 40 rated guy? I mean, or that 45 rated guy? At what point, is it not 55-ish anymore?
So you're saying,
I think it would be a lot easier if you just had a hard number. This is the number that if you don't have a guy that's at least this good, you can't do it. Or if your guy is above this number, you can't do it.
And would you also add in there, if it's a wide receiver, it must have a route running at certain number? Because you can have a 50 rated wide receiver, let's just say, and a route running at 20.
Yeah, exactly. So if the route running is the only thing that matters, because that's the only reason that Walls things got blocked, because everybody considers him far and away my best receiver because he's got the highest route running, which is probably true. I'm fine with that. I'm not upset about the fact that he's considered my best wide receiver. My sticking point was the fact that in the past, for all the years I've played, I've never seen him block somebody from trading away a player that was less than 55, or real close to it, 54 maybe. But that 55 was kind of the hard benchmark. If it was 55 or below, or 54 and below, and you traded him, you didn't have to worry about that rule of him being your best player because, quite honestly, he's just not a very good player, and you don't have any good players at that position. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think there needs to be a specific number so that.
But that's not what the rule says. I'm looking at it right now. It says roster dumps are not allowed. To give people a better idea of what the commission looks for when they're
roster
doing
dumps.
trades.
Now he
It's
prefaces
always
it by,
going to
but
throw
hold
up
on
a
a second,
yellow.
Bob. Hold on a second. Hold on. He prefaces it by saying roster dumps.
Dude, you had a trade block with a bunch of players that were 50 and 60 overall. You were trying to get picks for. That doesn't look like you're trying to make a lateral move.
Bob, I think Chris is just saying that rule needs to be updated.
And Judd told you the same thing. We've talked about it.
Okay. How about we just stop talking about it now? Because
we stop talking about the trading. Go on back onto the teams.
You got it. Now let's talk about Jugs' team. Jugs is at 3-1. First place. Quarterback's doing 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but of course he's a running game team, and his running game has been doing well. His defense has allowed 18 points a game, ranked 4, and his offense is sitting at 28 points per game, so he's ranked number 4. Yes.
Yeah, he's doing fine. He said at the beginning of the season, even in forums, it's going to be a terrible year and blah, blah. It's like, fuck that. I always say the same thing. So does Chris. So does everybody. It's like, fuck.
So I see him taking this division.
Yeah, and everyone fell off this year. I don't know what the fuck's going on over there. I mean, Fairbanks has been on the downswing for a couple of years. Colorado, this was very surprising, especially since he got that new wide receiver. Then Hanaley's been falling off, but Melville hasn't been a part of things for how many seasons now?
I don't know. When's the last time he exported? Somebody was telling me it's back in like October.
I think October.
Yeah. Yep.
He must be awful busy.
So let's jump over to Grimm's division. We have Toronto at 6-0.
That ain't my division. That's Bob's division.
I meant Bob's Red Zone.
Yeah.
North Plainfield 3-2, Harlem at 3-3, and Rochester at 2-4. Now I know what's his name said he was making his own playbook. Coyote, CV.
No, he has T-Zac's playbook. He's trying to piece it together, that post he had in the forum where he's like, dude, I feel like I'm driving someone else's sports car.
Yeah,
I'm trying not to crash it. That made me laugh out loud. But it's true. I mean, I talk with Derek all the time. And, I know he's fucking excited to be back in the league, and he wanted to jump on tonight, but he's just trying not to fucking wreck anything, And
it's going to be hard to wreck anything for a while without
with his picks next year and shit, he'll have 132 and 1-1. So,
Wow. Look,
but,
his quarterback has put over 23 touchdowns and 3 interceptions with a passing rating of 112.
Yep.
Defense is ranked number 3 with only 18 points. His offense is putting up 40 points per game.
Yeah. So the first game that he came back, the AI did shit for him because he couldn't get to it until the morning after the fucking sim. I thought he actually put in the game plan because I was talking with him about this shit. I'm like, really? Toronto runs for 153 yards with no fucking running back? What the fuck?
on 32 carries. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I was just like going, what in the fuck's going on?
But I misconstrued him. Look at his first 2 games, Grim.
Yeah.
Me and you, same score.
Yep, exactly.
He goes out and beats Atlanta 43-19.
That was when T-Zac was still running it. T-Zac didn't drop out until week 3. So week 3, I believe, was the game that he had the 153 yards.
So week 3 was 43-19. So he scored 1 less point and gave up 3 more.
Yep.
Big difference. I mean, and then he beat Paris 51-14. Yikes.
Yeah. No, just crazy. Toronto's a good team. And like I said, Derek's a fucking great guy, and he's a good GM. He had a great run with Iowa when he was there. It was a lot of fun playing with him. I'm glad he's back in the league. So, but yeah, I was thinking earlier today, I'm like, this motherfucker could go 16-0 and maybe win the bowl. But then it's like, again, we talked about it. It's like, he's like, it's not his fucking team. and it will be at some point. Oh,
Well,
this kid.
I would think that would be difficult. And I've always said this, I mean, if someone says, here's a playbook, here's a game plan, you're all set, just use this. Okay, but you didn't build it. You didn't create it. So you know it works, but you don't know why. When it comes time to tweak it, you don't know how. So I would think that when we get to the offseason, he's going to want to put his own stamp on that. He may keep some of the plays.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, he's going to change some things, I would think.
Well,
we
I don't know if he ever was a big running guy, but when he sees 32 carries for 153 yards, hey, maybe we should run the ball more than 3 times a game.
Well, we talked about this, Red Zone. We said you don't feel good if you're winning with someone else's game plan and playbook, because then you're just a carbon copy of them. You want your own playbook, your own game plan, because then it's from you. You feel good about it at the end of the day.
Yep. And at the very least, he's putting in his own defensive game plan. You don't really have any options there, you know, because that information isn't saved. And sure, you can go back in the logs to try to see what they're doing, but you're not going to do that. You're going to put it, and I know he knows how to run a 4-3, so.
And he's good.
That's
Coyotes, he puts together a good team and a good playbook. Because I played him, he was in our division, and he was tops. North Plainfield, sitting at 3-2. Look at their quarterback. 4th season.
His offense has been a lot better this year.
7-3, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 95. His running game. So where is he putting? So he's allowing 20 points per game, and he's putting up 25 points per game. So he's going to give you a run for your money, Red Zone. And let's look at your team, Red Zone. What's going on with your team?
I don't take anybody in my division for granted. It's been different teams, different years. I mean, I've seen North Plainfield be the one that comes in second to Toronto. I've seen last year was Rochester. It's been me once or twice. I mean, any of us.
Oh,
I don't take anybody for granted.
Hey,
what I would really like to see is how can we hyperspeed 3, 4, 5 seasons into the future? Let me play Coyote Vice, not Coyote Vice with all of T-Zach's missiles.
Well, see, yeah, just to go back to fucking Toronto for a second and Coyote, he's always been a passing team.
Yeah, so he walked into a perfect situation for him.
He did. He's always been a passing team. I'm just looked at his shit. I think the first season in the league, he had a 1,000-yard rusher, but after that, 25, 30 seasons, no 1,000-yard rusher. He's always passed the ball.
Thrilled.
He used to have Eric Keith back in the day.
He's got that pick from Moontown. I mean, he's got to be thrilled.
Oh, yeah, he could definitely draft a quarterback at 1-1 to replace Mock.
Yep.
Mock's not, I mean, how old's Mock now?
30-something, I think it was. Let's say Toronto. He's 34.
34.
So, yeah.
How many years does he have in his contract? He's got two more.
If you pull up the box score from my game yesterday, I realized that I wasn't playing Tucker or Toronto, but
you mean Bordeaux?
I've always felt like there are, how do I want to put this? But in your game plan, say you have 10 plays that are quote unquote, I'm going to call them good plays, and then there's 10 plays that are bad plays.
Oh, sweet. Well, 200 yards rushers. Nice.
A good play
are 2 100-yard rushers. Sorry.
Might be play design, or it might be, a run that you're running behind your 2 best linemen, or, there could be a bunch of things that makes it a quote unquote good play. And then there could be the same kinds of things that makes it a quote unquote bad play. Maybe you're running to the wrong spot on your own line, although people say that doesn't matter. I don't really tend to believe that. I like to run behind your better run blockers. But anyway, my point is I go in, and whatever's not working, I try to get out of there. And I try to get something in there that either did work today or I think will work next game, one or the other. And I've been tweaking like that. And the result of it is that game against Bordeaux. Now, one guy I talked to said, wait till you play whoever, Toronto, next game, see how it works then. But if you can't run a play If you run 5 plays against Bordeaux and they're all stuffed for -1, then you have no prayer of beating Toronto, right? I mean,
It's true.
you got to start somewhere, is what I'm trying to say. So I don't know where we're going from where we are now, but
how do you
I
like
like
your
the
quarterback?
200-yard rushers. The QB seems to be fitting in very nicely.
6 TDs, 1
Capstraw,
interception.
the wide receiver, I drafted him, and he took forever to develop. And now, suddenly, he wants to go out on the field and actually be a factor. I'm okay with that. Good. We'll see what happens with this Bryson. I don't know how that's going to work out. I like Cooney. He's okay. But we really don't have a true number one. And I wish that I had seen what Howie saw, because DeWalt would have been a really big help.
Well, your defense has allowed 25 points, but your offense has only put up 20 points per game. So that's going to affect your winnings.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you look at the schedule, we've won 2 out of the last 3, 2 in a row, and 3 of the last 4. So after that 44-16 shellacking, we've been pretty competitive.
Well, you're off Monday like I am tomorrow.
Yeah.
We both have a bye, so we'll see when you play Toronto. And Mass
That'll
Lewis.
be Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And after that, it's Mass Luis. That's Ronaldo Wilson's chance to get revenge on me. And if you look at my schedule, it's not pretty. We've got Toronto, Mass Luis. Paris is not an easy game. He plays defense with anybody. North Plainfield is a division game. Chesapeake.
Yeah. I'm stoked, Bob. I never get to play you, man.
Orlando's not an easy game. I got to play Grimm. I got to play Easy Lee again. I got to play Jobs. And then I got North Plainfield again. There's not an easy game in there.
Nope, it is
We
not.
could lose all 10 of them and be 3-13.
Do you have your first round pick?
Nope.
Who has it?
Who has that?
Mass Luis.
Oh, that's right.
I moved up to number 5 to take a receiver.
Yep.
Wow. He's got like 90 first round picks.
Oh, he's got more draft picks than Carter got Bills.
Yeah. But he just always has fucking like 15 to 20 picks in every draft.
All right, let's jump down to the AC South. We have Houston at 4-2, Atlanta sitting at 3-3, Chris San Antonio 3-3, and Fort Wayne at 1-5. Which I'm shocked that Slam dropped to 1-5 actually.
Yeah, his quarterback's hurting him. And Chris has won 3 of his last 4 too after 0-2 start.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I don't know what the hell happened with Ben. I mean, that was just weird.
Let's get to your team.
I'm not surprised we beat Houston in this last game, just simply because he's got like everybody on his team is injured. I mean, he's just having a horrible injury season.
He's still 4-2. That was surprising. I thought he was doing worse than that.
No, he's doing well, but I mean, you can only do so much when everybody's injured.
Well, Soka is doing well for you this season. 16 touchdowns to 3 interceptions.
Yeah. Well, we changed to the spread, so I mean, it's a little more short passing than he's accustomed to. When we were doing balanced, it was
Snyder's actually running the ball too.
Yeah, we did a fair bit more medium and long passing when we were balanced. Now that we're spread, he's probably going to be.
You're coming in low.
Interceptions. What's that?
You were coming in low when you were saying what you were saying.
Put your mic to your face, sir. I'll be right back.
Me too. I'm taking a break. I'll be back.
These headphones don't actually have a mic. But anyway, Sosa's been doing good, but he's got a little easier game plan now in terms of, the passes are a lot shorter. And then we finally got Schneider deciding to run decent. Last couple seasons he's been horrible, but he's running way better in the spread offense than he was in balanced.
Really? So you have him running better in the spread than?
Yep.
Interesting.
Significantly better. I mean,
yes.
I have been able to get him, to even 800 yards a season as my primary guy. But I'm running him more. He's running better, so I'm adding some run plays each game to try and feed him the ball a little bit more now that he's producing. So, but yeah, he's been good. And he's catching the ball good this year too.
He almost has more yards than he has this season at 6 games than all 16 games last season.
Yep. Yeah. This is what I was expecting out of him. He should be a real good running back, but he just hadn't been up to this point. But this season, he seems to be turning the corner. So, like I said, I'm trying to feed him the ball more.
I like. Now, you're putting up 27 points. I mean, you're allowing 27 points, but you only put up
Yeah.
25 points. So you're trying to fix your defense, right, to get that down?
Yeah. Well, defense. I mean, yeah, we've been really bad against the run. It's gotten better the last couple of games. Um, we've always been pretty bad against the pass, but that's not been too bad the last couple of games. So, like I said, I mean, it's if the last 2-3 games are any indication, we're improving. But you know, who knows? My defense is pretty rough right now. But again, we switched from a 4-3 to a 3-4 this season, so it's a completely different defense. You know, I did a pretty good job in the off season picking up 3-4 defensive linemen, but I'm still a little bit weak at the linebacker spots because I had a whole bunch of little light guys. I'm struggling to get my outside linebackers for a 3-4 setup because Cox and Norfleet are both way too small to play outside.
Oh, he's got 4.5 sacks. Cox.
Yep.
Wow, he's 31 already. Wow.
Yep. Yeah, he's aging out.
I remember when you drafted him. That's why.
Yep. Norfleet too. I mean, I got them Norfleet the next season. He was younger when I got him though, so
Way back.
We're just looking at his linebackers and his team.
Yep.
Well, at least you got Soka playing much better this season.
Yeah, he's playing great with a whole bunch of shitty wide receivers.
Didn't Bob switch to spread as well?
That's something we'll ask him when he gets back in.
I fucking can look right now. I know he did.
Yeah, but I switched to a spread and I switched my defense, so it's been a big transition year. I was not expecting to do real well this year.
Oh, 3 seasons ago he did.
We'll see. We'll see how the rest of the season goes, I guess.
Now, you said Houston has been taking a beating. Now, his quarterback went down, did he?
No, his quarterback's been fine. I mean, it's not a good quarterback, but no, he's got like I don't know. I think when we played him, he had like 7 people injured, like legitimately injured is out, not probables, but actually.
Yeah, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 out, questionable with torn knee cartilage, so he ain't coming back. And a questionable with a strained back. Courtney Scobie's been out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of
with the strained back and shit. So yeah, he's getting banged up this year.
Wow, he's got his cornerback just went out for 9 weeks.
Yep. Yeah, and Scobie, his wide receiver Scobie's been out. He's coming back here, but he's been out. I didn't have to worry about him when I played him. So he's competing with a lot of key players injured. So I mean, I still think he's the cream of the crop in the division, even though he's had a couple of rough games here. He's still the team to beat. If he gets his guys back healthy, he should have a good run to second half of the season.
Well, his defense is helping him a lot. His defense only allowed 19 points per game, ranked number 5. His offense is putting up 23, but he doesn't have his offensive playmakers. His quarterback delay is terrible.
That's Grimmer's.
I was just going to say, Kevin, don't start delay. Put Emmons back in. Don't start delay. He started for me last year, and we didn't do shit.
He is awful. Yeah, you might as well look at that. Yeah, well, we'll see. I guess he's going to play him next game. We'll see tomorrow. Yeah, he'll be playing tomorrow against Atlanta, which is going to be a big game. Your division, by the way, Chris, is a close one.
Yeah. I mean,
outside of Slam dropping off.
Yeah, and that's, I think, just a blip. I mean, he'll be back competing again next season. If he doesn't pull some stuff, he might pull some stuff out this year. He beat me, so I think it could go any way. But I still think Houston's a team to beat, but that game against Atlanta tomorrow is going to be an important one for shaping the division.
Yeah, because
Meadows was great last season.
Sweendog put up 30 points those last 2 games. One against Snapfinger, who's doing well, and one against Augusta. Now, I know Brian's having trouble because
Banks is out.
And he might be out forever.
Yep, career ending probably.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. All right, let's jump to the AC East, where we were talking about Brian's league. We have Tucker at 4-2, Orlando at 3-2, Snapfinger at 3-2, and Augusta at 1-5. Yeah,
He has to hope for a draft class that's got 2 or 3 quarterbacks in it, because he's not going to pick 1-1, but he might be top 10, and he might even be top 5, depending on how the rest of the season goes. Right now, he's struggling.
Well,
If it's a deep draft class, he gets the replacement for Banks. If not, then he might have the same problems next year.
well, let's look at Tucker. Tucker's quarterback Brady, 24 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's 1 touchdown more than Mock, 7.66 per attempt. He is putting up 35 points per game, and he's only given up 24 points per game. Doesn't run, as we can see. His quarterback's doing all the running for his team.
Okay, so you remember when
he lost 2 games?
You remember when Ronaldo Brady was drafted, right?
He lost to San Antonio.
I said 600 touchdowns. Okay.
Yes.
So he's halfway, not even halfway through this season. So let's just take 24 and double it. Okay. He's going to do better than that, but let's just give him 24 more. That gives him 294, which is roughly 306 seasons. That's an average of 50 per season. 10 seasons is 500. He's going to throw 600 or 700 touchdowns. Easy.
Yeah. Yes.
Easy. I don't know what the record is, but he's going to break it.
However, like I said before, all the running teams have been winning the bowl.
Oh, no, it was a record, Bob, is another Ben quarterback, Donovan Muth, 685.
I'll bet this guy breaks it.
I think he's going for that, by the way. What you just said, Rizzo.
I'll bet this guy breaks
Oh, absolutely.
it.
Because of that other quarterback, I think he got it before they made the adjustment on the passing game. Is that correct?
No, Muth was after the 8.2.
Oh, okay. Then
He just retired in. Oh no, wait. Yep, after 8.2, because that was like in 80, 82, and Muth started in 84 and retired in 2100. So
If Brady plays 14 seasons and averages 50 TDs a season, he'll have 700.
yeah, that's crazy.
So barring
Muth,
injury, he's
Muth
going,
played like 17 seasons. That's fucking insane.
barring injury, he's going to have the record.
Then you have after him Orlando, who turned around his team.
Well, didn't he just trade for another QB?
Yeah, he's trying. His
What do you mean?
quarterback got injured.
Oh,
I
Washington?
Yes, he
Broken
picked up
wrist.
Washington and had to trade for a new one. So he just traded for who the fuck did he trade for?
Wait, who's playing for him now? Washington,
Where-
he picked up in
Yeah,
he
he's
traded,
supposed to
he
be the
traded
guy.
for Poffenroth from Julio.
Poffenroth from Gothenburg. Yep.
Yeah,
where? Oh, he's not on the team yet.
yeah, he is.
He is.
You have to go look at his roster.
That's what I'm going to do right now.
And Poffenroth doesn't look bad.
Nope. Not at all.
Because Washington went down, who was doing well for him.
Yeah, Washington is doing real well. Like
And
70%
Poffenroth is very affordable too.
Wow.
He's not a cap killer.
No.
Yep.
So you think he's just going to play? What's his
Oh
name?
yeah,
Poffenroth
he just traded
all
for him.
through?
That's going to be his QB. I'll bet you any money.
No,
I don't know, man.
Washington?
With how DeAndre's been playing, he's going back to him once he comes back. He's still got 2 weeks, so.
That's what I say.
But that
We'll
wasn't
see.
a bad trade because he's still got Washington for 1 year, and now he's got Poffenroth for 2 years. So
Yeah, Washington is quarterback rating of 104, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Better
Yards
sense
per
rushing a
attempt.
scramble bar. Nobody goes to Poffenroth.
hey, remember my quarterback, Bob?
Yeah,
No sense rusher scrambling.
I know. Quit beating me over the head with that, huh? You know how long I've been looking for a quarterback? Mine's finally playing pretty good.
Hey, I'll trade you Hastings
No
for
thanks.
Burchett, straight up.
We have Snapfinger. Leach is playing well. He's got him going.
Leach should be playing fucking well.
I know.
and the wide receiver should be playing well. Same shit with Snapfinger every fucking year. I mean, Leach is like, he's tugging at my heartstrings, man.
And
I want him to fucking do well. He's such a good fucking quarterback.
His running game is doing well. His
Well,
defense.
he's done okay the last few years.
Now, he's only put up 24 points per game, and he's given up 23. So he's on a trajectory of an 8-8, 9-7 record if he stays like this.
Yeah, and I think almost every show we've ever done and talked about Snapfinger, I always go back to his fucking defense. He's never got any 60 rated guys, 70 rated guys, 80 rated guys. He never has anybody fantastic on his defense. And I think with the higher draft picks he fucking gets, it's like, dude, get like a fucking sweet defensive end or a sweet fucking linebacker or a sweet safety. Any one of the positions, just get one guy that can really make a fucking difference.
He must.
And I think he would be playoffs every year if he could fucking do that, because he's always picking offensive players.
How about this? I just sorted his team by future estimate. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 players on the defensive side of the ball that are 50 or better future.
Yep.
4. Now go pull up. Well, I mean, I'm not going to state the obvious. We'll avoid Ben and Toronto. Pull up somebody that plays really good defense. How about Sert in North Plainfield? How many defensive guys has he got that are 50 or better future? I'll bet you he's got 12 or 15.
All right. It's set.
Go look at Jug's team for that.
Yeah.
Jug's always has the best fucking defense.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up to 57. So that's 57 rated. So you get 6 players from 57 rated and up. That's North Plainfield. Jugs definitely. Jugs would have like 1,000.
And Snapfinger had 4 that are 50 or better.
Jugs is going to have
2, 3, 4,
his top 5
6,
70 plus a 64. So
7.
has been, and I'll say it again. I don't know if Joel listens to these fucking shows or not, but it's like, dude, just get a couple really good guys on fucking defense, combine that with your offense, please, before Frankie Leach goes away, and he'd be in the playoffs every fucking year if you could just get a few guys on that fucking defense.
I got a lot of good guys on defense, and we still suck. So I don't know that ratings totally is it. A lot of it has to do with the GM and whether you can use them. And I obviously can't, but I got a lot of good defensive players. It's not helping me.
And Augusta, like we talked about.
Even my shitty Harlem team has 10 guys that are 50 or better future on defense. 4 is just not enough.
Well, there is that.
Well, again, Jugs as an example, like top 6 guys are 60 to 80 or 64 to 84. It's like, fuck.
But 4. I mean, you're not even drafting defense till the 4th round, right?
Who?
If you only have 4 guys that are 50 future or better on your whole defense, you're not picking anybody on defense till like the 4th round.
Why?
You're drafting all offense, right?
Yeah, that was basically what I was saying. It was like Snapfinger, like some of those top 10 picks you get, grab a defensive end or a great linebacker you can convert, or a cornerback or a safety especially. Yeah, Brian's fucked.
Yeah, it's going to be a long season. Look at his quarterback, the one he has to play. 3 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He's not ready to play. I think it's a rookie that he picked up. Am I correct on this? Yes.
Yes. He's a rook. And that ratings means he's not getting... Well, he's 56.6%. That's good for my team.
He's like...
But yeah, 9 interceptions, though. I say it's not good.
Yeah, only 15 points per game he's putting up. That's terrible for the way he is. His running game is doing well, but
Seems
he needs
to me
more.
he kind of gave up on Cooper Schwartz awful quick, didn't he?
Who?
The other QB he's got.
Cooper
He's
Swartz.
just not. He has no confidence in him at all, or I mean, he's a vet. He wasn't playing great, but
He didn't play this season.
No,
Why
I don't
is it-
know. I don't
why-
know if he'd be the answer. Maybe. I mean, how long has he been on the team?
He picked him up as a free agent.
Okay,
When-
so he's same amount of time as your first round pick. Play the
He
first
picked- he
round
picked
pick
him
and
up
take your
week-
lumps.
Week 4, he signed him.
Yeah.
And he signed him as a mentor, probably more than a guy to play.
The only thing
Probably
I
a
think
mentor
about
for the rookie.
he wants to get his rookie some playing time to see if it develops.
And find
He
out
has
what he's
to.
got, sure.
And hopefully with the volatility of 98, he shoots back up next year.
So Banks is gone forever.
Yeah,
That's
you never know, but I mean, it doesn't
he's
look good.
36. What's the injury?
30.
32 weeks, that's going to be,
That's all season and next
and
season.
into next season.
And that's the ACL knee surgery. So
So he'll be 37 and maybe play the second half of next year? What's 32 weeks going to be? I don't know how that breaks down.
No,
You
I'm
get
not
so
sure.
much credit for the off season. You got another 10 weeks this year. She'll be down to 22. I would bet he doesn't play till week 5 or 6 at least next year.
hey, Chris got disconnected. He said, "I'm out. Tell the guys it was fun and tell Bob to blow me." Laugh out loud. LOL.
Love you, Chris.
The thing is, guys, he has to make a decision on to sign him. This year is going to be gone.
No, he's
old.
going to retire. He's retiring next year. Dude, I'm 99% sure this guy's out next year.
You think? I do too.
I think he'll retire.
Let's put it this way. At the age of 37, coming off that injury, facing the potential ratings drop he's almost bound to have, to get 1 or 2 more seasons out of him, if you're lucky, at a lower level of play, versus saving $50 million next year, I'd be inclined to maybe even just cut him.
Yeah, even if he came back. But
I
if
agree
he
with you
came
there.
back,
he probably retires.
yeah, I think he's going to retire. What sucks? I mean, Caden Banks, he's been a legend. He's was drafted the same year as Cushman, both of those guys.
That's right.
Look at the numbers: 371 TD passes and only 138 picks.
Yep.
That's right.
I mean, that's
He's been
almost,
good,
it's almost
but
3-1.
Yeah. And Brian's been always a running team during that entire time. And
Yeah.
on the years that he needed Banks to pass the ball, he could never really get it done. But yeah, just a fucking legend. Cushman's going to be a fucking legend too. I just, sucks that they could never win the bowl, either one of them.
Oh, Brian's guy? Yeah, we didn't really talk about... I'm not Brian. Jops.
Oh yeah, Cushman. Yeah. We didn't really dive into Brooklyn at all. But I think he'll come back from his shithole too.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't know.
doing-
Banks
he's
has
doing
had 30. Banks has had 30 TDs and a 90-plus QBR in 3 of the last 4 seasons prior to this one.
Yeah. Look at what Cushman's doing.
I mean, that's hard to argue with. That's production there.
He's going to smoke me fucking tomorrow.
He turned Cushman around.
Whereas in
14
Brooklyn,
touchdowns, 2 interceptions, passing rate of 107. He's put up 28 points per game, but he's given up 28 points, and that's why his record is at 2-3. We didn't really talk about his team, but if not, he would be like you, Grim. If you both were with good defenses,
Yep.
you guys would be fighting for first place.
We would be. There's nothing wrong with their offenses rate. Well, I think he's trying to run a little bit more than I think he should, because he just doesn't have any running backs, and his main running back, Kozlowski, is out.
okay, here's an example of my point a minute ago. Brooklyn has 11 defensive players that are 50 future or better.
Yes.
4 is just not enough.
However,
No, that's
his
surprising.
defense is giving up 28 points, red zone.
Yeah, the defense isn't
Well,
good.
That
And I
to
keep
me,
expecting-
with that kind of talent on defense, he maybe needs to look at his game plan.
Yeah, probably should be a little bit better. Because I think I even commented a couple shows ago that Brooklyn's defense was getting scary good again. But
He's good against the run.
And then you jinxed him.
There's no such
Yeah.
thing as jinx, guys.
hey, jinx don't exist. Clay will say it every time you say you fucking something got jinxed. He'll say it
That's
doesn't
why I
exist.
said it.
It-
He said he would say that.
It is on the same level as the people who cut open animals and think they can tell you the future.
Who does? Don't they do that with cards now, Clay?
They do it in the cars, but the old days. But I'm taking us back to the old crazy days.
Crazy days. Like 100 years ago.
Okay.
But he's got Cushman working, and I like that because I know he was kind of frustrated not getting Cushman to play the way he wanted to play.
Well, he's 38.
Yes.
He sure waited long enough.
Click on his stats there on that screen there. Yeah.
Okay, he got him. Okay, so it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. So 6 seasons he's been with him. And you can see each season, this was a good season for him. This wasn't.
Out of 30 and 14. Lots of yards.
Yeah, his
It's
second
better.
and third years they were pretty good.
And this one he's
Fourth and
much
fifth
better.
were so, and this year he's just off the chart.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, look at the ratings even Slam got with him. 90.3, 81, 88.7.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We've covered this
Yeah.
many times, but you don't trade Cushman. You cut whoever you have to cut. You trade whoever else you have to trade. You sign Cushman. You don't let him leave.
Nope. But I'll never have to worry about that because I'll never have a great quarterback on my team. I mean, I tried with Christensen, and he looked fucking promising coming in, but that PS2 dump, and he made the playoffs, so fuck it.
All right, we're at the AC West, the last division. We have Gutenberg at 4-2, Mass Lewis at 3-2, Paris at 3-2, and Bordeaux at 1-4. Anderson is now the quarterback. He brought him back. He had someone else in. I'm talking about
Hoffenroth. He
yeah.
shipped off to
Yeah,
Orlando.
he dealt him, and he's going with the other guy.
And so I actually like Anderson.
When you make up your mind, that's the way to do it. You don't want to bounce back and forth all year.
Yep.
His defense is stopping people, only 21 points per game. He's ranked number 8th. He has put up 26 points. He's rated number 9 on offense scoring.
Yep. No, the offense is struggling a little bit, and you see Julio's posts. They're often long and kind of fun to read. But yeah, no, he's struggling on offense right now. His defense is fine. His passing defense kind of sucks. He's like near me, almost giving up 300 yards a game. I think I'm giving up 350. But in his running game, if you look at his running backs, they're not doing great right now, and he'd like that to be better too. But Gothamer's going to be, Julio's going to be Julio, man. He's gonna win this division again, I think. And until some of these other boys start coming up, he's going to continue to win the fucking division. So
let's look at Mass. And in Paris,
He was
right
3-0,
after.
and then he dropped 2 straight. So
no, I'm excited about this.
So-
I'm excited about fucking Matijas getting this shit
He's got Wilson. He traded with you. Is that correct?
from Harlem. Yep.
What'd you
Yep.
get for him?
Was
2
that part of your trade to move up?
2 seconds in the third. No, that was after I traded up.
Okay, so
All
you're
right,
2
all right.
seconds. So he's got him with 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, quarterback rating of 89.3. He is putting up 25 points per game, ranked number 12. He's given up 24 points per game, ranked number 21, and that's why he is sitting at 3-2. His running game on one running back is very good, Powell, but the other guy is terrible.
Wilson's got 7 yards, or almost 8 yards carry, so that's a good thing. The only thing that bothered me about my guy this year is he can't scramble. And I've had scrambling guys for fucking 20 seasons now.
You're doing very well with your guy. You should not complain about him.
I'm not. Sorry. I hope he didn't hear that.
You just jinxed your man.
You
Your
jinxed
quarterback.
him.
Nah.
You jinxed him.
That's
There's
not
no such thing as a
It don't
jinx.
exist.
There's no such thing as a
Next time I'm
jinx.
going to fucking tell you owe me a Coke. Jinx. You can't talk until you get me a Coke.
I'm glad, by the way, Matt got rid of Tanner.
I am too.
Yes, and he keeps
we made
talking
the
about how
trade.
no one's picking him up as a backup. It's like, well, no, he sucks.
We made the trade and posted it, and he didn't have the cap room the first time. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Cut that bum. It's $40 million. Just cut him. And I think he finally did. That's what ended up.
He held
like,
on to that
Yo,
guy
Matt-
like it was his child.
I'm like, I need
Yeah.
to re-sign guys on my team. I
Dude,
need this cap space.
Howie talks about it too. I talk about it a bit. But Matijas is really he's a tiny human guy. This isn't ones and zeros on the screen. These are tiny fucking humans playing football game. This guy will fucking hold on to people for years. I do the same thing, but I like cohesion, and if I can afford a guy, even if you don't play, you can, move shit around so people don't play as much to get them to sign for less and shit. But yeah, Matt is definitely a fucking tiny human guy. He likes his fucking players, and he'll hold on to guys for way longer than he should.
I mean, there is something to be said for loyalty, but I mean, Tanner didn't put the numbers up, and he didn't have the ratings either. So
No, Tanner.
it was time a couple seasons ago to get rid of him.
I thought Tanner held back his team.
And that was one of the things we
and
talked
the
about.
other guy too. Who was the other guy that's not on the team anymore?
Sebastian. was
Singleton.
Singleton?
Harris.
Singleton,
Yeah,
yeah.
Harris Singleton.
Well, that's one of the things we talked about when we were talking trade. I'm like, okay, have you looked at your receivers and your tight end? And can you imagine? Look at what Wilson did in OBX. Look what he did with me, and then look at your team. What's he going to do there? Now, I don't know. He started out 3-0 and he's dropped 2 straight. I think I'd pull those game plans out in the first 3 weeks and put one of them back in. But I mean, I still say, look at his receivers.
Oh, let's take a look.
Mas Luis, look at his receivers and his tight
Yeah,
end.
they're good. He's always got great receivers. But yes,
He's always
Bart Tanner's not on a team, and Harrison Singleton is not on a team, and those has been his 2 guys for the last 5-6 seasons. Both were actually bums.
Yes.
I'm surprised you haven't picked up Bart Tanner.
Who?
No, I'm not doing that. Harrison Singleton is actually an affinity with me, but he's like 37 years old and rated 19 and 19. Can't do it.
Let's look at
Can't
Paris.
do it.
No, you know what?
But I
We
also
said-
understand Bart Tanner. Bart Tanner brought him to the playoffs 3 times and won him a
Sure.
division. You know,
No, he didn't bring him. The rest of the team brought.
Yeah, he
them
made
to
the playoffs in spite of Bart Tanner, not because of. Yes.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah,
But
he had
I,
was-
I
he
get
was
how
there-
he
he
could.
was there
I
for
get
the
how he
ride.
could see it differently, though. I mean,
Well, I didn't realize you were all such Bart Tanner haters. But
Yes.
I agree. He needed to be off the team.
What was
And
weird?
Harrison Singleton needed to be gone too.
I was protesting outside.
What was weird this offseason was
He's up in Denmark.
I started
fucking
looking.
with his little sign, "Cut Tanner, cut Tanner."
I started looking just casually at Burkett. I'm like, I've always liked that guy. I should have traded for him before he was so goddamn expensive. And he wanted this crazy contract. I'm not paying him that. I'm going to throw him just not a super low ball off, but a medium off. And I'll make one offer. And if he signs, then I'll just trade Wilson. And if he doesn't, then I'll just keep Wilson. And he signed. But he wanted like 5 years, $375 million. And I was like, no, dude, that's not happening. No.
Yeah, quarterbacks
or
are
I'd-
they're
or I would
expensive in our league.
I would still have Wilson. I mean, I wasn't unhappy with Wilson, but Burkett was younger. And I would have had Wilson didn't want to sign more than a 2-year deal last season and didn't want to sign more than a 2-year deal this season. And every year that was going to go up. And he's already 32. I'm like, let's
Is that a
just take-
sign, Bob, that he doesn't want to be in your team if he
I
only
don't-
wants a 2-year deal?
I don't know.
Because you have like gone through you go through quarterbacks like I do, and that's not good.
No, it's not. I know you're not giving me a compliment. I know.
I'm
It's
not
a
giving
bad
you a
thing.
compliment, sir.
Well,
you can't keep
Burkett
trading
signed
for
for 5 years.
quarterbacks and then trading him away and trading for a new quarterback.
Well, Burkett is signed for 5 years, so the way he's playing, it looks like I made a good call, but I think Wilson would have done fine too.
Hey Clay, you want to bet $20 that Bob trades Burchett next year?
No,
I think the
don't do it.
following year.
The following year?
The reason why it has to be the following year, because if that quarterback, Burchett, whatever his name is, does bad again next season, he's out the door.
Dude, look at his stats. He's not doing bad.
I didn't say
Jug-
this season. I said next season.
Jugs may be popping on here in a second.
Oh, good.
Yes! Get the master in.
What do you guys think of Paris? Now,
I like Zachary McDonald. I like the pick. I'm fucking really hoping
his running game's doing well.
Wait,
Wait, what?
what? No, that's his name. Wait.
Oh, no,
McDonald
so
looks
Shield.
fine. I mean, what's wrong with McDonald?
No one said anything. No, I was saying
He's got 5 TDs and 8 interceptions this year.
Well,
And
okay.
that's and he's taken 15 sacks, which means I need to look at the roster, but he's fucking 3-2.
Okay, but
I'm shocked
I
that
mean,
he's 3-2.
could that be
by
the
way.
game plan?
He's only put up 17 points per game, but his
me see
defense has
something
given
here.
up 23 points per game, and he's 3-2. So there must be some special team or defensive touchdown. Something's coming up that is helping this team right now.
Well, I don't see any problem. He's 106 short, 62 medium, and 28 long. So that's probably a decent breakdown.
Because look at his running game.
He's
Shields is
completed
doing well.
62% of his short.
Yeah, he's got Liam Shields. He's great.
He's doing well. Only one touchdown.
McDonald can fucking rush, which he's doing.
His quarterback has thrown 8 interceptions to 5 touchdowns.
Okay, so look at the receiver, Devin Mays. I mean, what more do you want?
Yep.
I mean, does he have his
Nice
tight ends
pickup.
are ordinary? Okay. Does he have a number 2 receiver? Maybe this Devin Larcius or Jackson McWilliams. I don't know. They don't look terrible, but maybe he just needs another receiver. I don't know.
Mm.
Or game
Also, I mean,
game
who has
plan
he
a little.
played? Does he got a weak schedule? I mean, he lost to Gothenburg, beat Moontown 13-3. Then at Houston, he 31-26. That was a good game.
Yes.
At Rochester, that was a
Honestly,
good
yeah.
game.
The only
And they
2
got-
games he's lost are against Toronto and Gothenburg. I
Yep.
don't think he's having a bad season at all. Statistics be damned. I mean,
No,
yeah,
but
the QB
again,
doesn't
lean
put
on
up,
that run
no.
game. I mean, dude, I'm looking at Liam Shields, right? He's got 68 fucking. I don't know what his. Does he got bad endurance? Clay, can you
Let's
pull
take
him
a
up?
look. I'll take him right here.
No, 70.
All right,
endurance.
so a guy like that, right? You run him like I run Worcester. And this guy's better than Worcester. I mean, a little bit older, I think, but playing better than Worcester right now. Worcester has like 150 plus carries right now. This guy's got 68. It's like
I'm pretty sure they were all drafted the same year.
slam the fucking ball, yo.
He's got good numbers. I mean, good bars for age 30 for a running back.
Yeah, they were all drafted the same year, Grim. Your
Who?
guy, my guy, and Shields. All 3 in 21-15.
Really?
Yep.
Shields must have been old then, because Worcester ain't 30 yet, is he?
No, my guy's 28. Marsh.
Marsh is 28.
Marsh went number 6. Shields went number 10. Didn't you get Worcester in the second round?
Second round, pick 7.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's 29. So, okay, cool. They're all the
28,
same age.
29, 30.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah, that was
Wade
the
just
same
needs
draft.
to just run this guy 30 times a fucking game.
And I liked Shields.
Yep.
I liked Worcester too. I just liked Marsh better.
Yeah, I'm glad he's getting it together. And
I don't think he's doing bad at all. Like I said, look at the 2 teams he lost to. There's no shame there.
no, he's got to get his quarterback playing well. His quarterback's going to lose games for him if he keeps throwing interceptions more than touchdowns.
Yeah, and this guy, like, on the website, he's showing a fucking 66 of 80 already.
He's 69-78 rated with me, the quarterback. His quarterback.
62 of 80 on the website. But yours is going to be more accurate. So
I
yes,
see
he needs
six.
to fucking
I
go.
see 69 out of 80.
He's got a good quarterback.
Yeah, and he's only going to get better.
Hmm.
Yep.
And then you have Bordeaux. I know he's frustrated. I think he made a comment.
Yeah,
Yeah, 1-4.
his QB though, Whiting, bounced back, and he's
Yes.
playing fine. He
Yep.
needs a running game. It's too much passing. All these guys want to do this all pass.
I
Whatever
I
you
don't
wanna
get
do,
it
it's your
either.
team, but
I think with a guy like Whitting, he could fucking. I mean, Loams doesn't really have
Would you do a
whole
balance?
recognition.
Would you do a balanced offense with this guy, Whitting?
Well, yeah, but in any playbook, you can do a balanced offense in any playbook. So
No, but that's what I meant. Like, slow down
Yeah,
on the
I would
passing
run
game
more.
and go
Yep.
more pass, run, balance. Here comes Jug.
hey, sweet. I'll be right back. I got to pee quick.
Go ahead.
but you know as well as I do, a balanced offense doesn't mean you just go 50-50. I mean, you pick spots where you run where you think the defense will expect to pass, and vice versa. So I mean, there's ways to incorporate a running game, get some more time of possession, maybe some more offensive yardage. Okay, keep the other team off the field, and maybe win a few more games and get those interceptions down.
Well,
You can do that.
His defense has put up 30 points or allowed 30 points per game. So he's ranked number 31.
Well,
So he's got to fix that defense. His offense has put up 25 points. It's ranked number 12. So his offense is
I'm
not.
gonna give you a
Yeah.
Yogi Berra-ism.
Good. Hey,
Defense
Jugs.
is half the game.
There you go. Jugs, how you doing?
Drugs. Hello.
He might have bounced off. But, yeah, so giving up that many points is hurting his team. And maybe that's why he's frustrated.
But again, I mean, you can pull up the game logs and see what is this guy doing. He's only given up, let's go. Chicago's only given up 73 points in 6 games. What the hell is he doing? You can go see. You can see what he does on 1st and 10. You can see what he does on 3rd and short. You can see what he does on 3rd and long. It's not hard.
It's also
It's right there in the game log. I mean,
but it's also the players you got to put in your team as well.
well, that's fine. But I mean, you can see the defenses he's using and compare them to what you're using, and then you have to consider the talent. I agree with you. Okay, maybe he has man corners and bump corners. That could be different. But I mean, there's ways to fix it.
Correct. Let me see. Does he have? Remember, you told me about how many 55 rated players? Let's see what Bordeaux has. Future.
On defense, it's a good question. Let's do that. Future estimate.
He's got 2 cornerbacks.
1, 2, 3,
I'll be back.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Well, 50.
12.
Let's stop at, because I stopped everyone at 57. So let's call it 56. Stop at 56. So 1.
I went all the way to 50. He's got 12.
All right. So he does
All
have.
right, but no defensive end.
There's a guy that's 55 in his 5th year.
Yeah, but click on him. What's his pass rush?
Technique is
Nope.
low, 45. Strength is high, 80.
Nope, all of his bars are based on that strength
Yeah.
and the endurance. So his rating is based on the strength and endurance. Not a good pass rusher.
Well, and I mean, again, and I'm really, if anybody's listening to this that knows me, they're going to be, you hypocrite, you. I'm forever banging on this one guy. I know everything's about overall rating, but it really isn't. The bars matter. I
Absolutely.
mean, if you're drafting guys that are, 58, 59, 60 overall, and they don't have the bars to play their position well, you're
Did
wasting
Jugs make
time.
it in?
Yeah, he did, but he got bounced out. I don't know.
Motherfucker.
Maybe he's having problems with connecting.
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Hey.
yeah, we can hear you.
Can
Sweet.
What's
What
going
up,
on?
Jugs?
What's going on?
What's
Glad
up?
you're back in, brother.
So what did I miss so far?
Everything.
Me and Chris went at it a little bit.
They went at it about the trading policy.
We were talking about the trade. We were just talking about Bordeaux. They seems frustrated, and his team has given up 30 points per game. But we went through all the teams already, and snap finger. We went through his team. We went through Augusta. Brian losing his quarterback. Banks not going to be around anymore because of the injury. Howie told us about why his team is acting the way they are. Let's see.
Yeah, let's go back to Jugs' fucking team and
Jugs. Why don't you
let us talk about how he thought he was going to have a top 10 pick this year.
I think I said top 5, didn't I?
Yeah, top 5, I believe.
Well, my safety got suspended for the year. I don't know what kind of drugs he was using. I don't even know what the suspension was. I missed the email. I'm not even sure what he got suspended for. But I thought that was going to be a killer, and my pass defense honestly hasn't been as good. But I've actually been scoring more points.
You have
so that's
28
helped.
points. You're ranked number 4, and your defense is ranked number 4 with 18 points allowed.
His defense is always good. Well, then we had to pull up his team tonight to see how many people, had like 60 above. I mean, he's got how many people on defense? 16 above.
Well, I got 4 players that are 75 and above.
Yep.
But the one player's not playing.
Yep.
That's the safety. He's not playing.
That's true.
Right here.
Yep.
That is amazing. The top 5 rated players, future, I'm guessing current also, but I have it sorted by future. The top 5 rated players on your roster are defensive players and number 6 guys your QB. That's fucking insane.
Well, Kornak's finally fucking playing. I mean, he was playing. Kornak's doing just fucking fine.
Well, Grimmer, remember I said that to you 2 off seasons ago. I said, I lost my wide receiver. I'm going to do whatever I can to have the best defense in the league.
Yep. You did. And you're working on it.
I think you're there.
Exactly.
Yeah, when I lost Perkins.
And that's after, what's his name, Hopper retired?
Yeah.
What if he was still playing?
Yeah, but that fucking... I don't even know why Brian got rid of Walden. I fucking hated that trade.
Unreal.
I mean, I loved it because I'm rooting for Jugs.
He didn't want to sign him, but I don't know.
Like, why not?
I don't know if it was you or Chris that said he should have got rid of the older guy.
Mm-hmm.
He just didn't want to pay him the money, and I actually signed him to a lot less than what he was asking for.
Yeah, cut that old guy and keep fucking Walden. Again, I don't understand some trades. Some people do, but
yeah, I look, we played so bad in the preseason. I looked at the roster. I'm like, okay, I don't have a running back. I went and made 2 last-minute trades for running backs, and the one is actually playing really, really well.
Oh, Hastings is fucking... Well, you got Hastings off of Chris, and I don't think you should have traded Hastings.
And I got Buchanan off, I think, Paris.
And the Horak, dude, 88.
I can't remembe which. I get the 2 brothers confused. I get
Paris. You got him from Paris.
It was Paris.
Yeah, and they've played pretty well for me, which honestly I thought was a surprise because the offensive line isn't as good as it's been in the years past either.
No, but they got their whole wrecks just like out of this fucking world.
Right.
Worcester is struggling this fucking year because my O-line went to fucking shit. I lost that Jim Sink right tackle who has always had 60 plus in run blocking,
Oh, that's right.
Probably had several years of cohesion with him too.
We talked about Grimm's magical quarterback, by the way.
Look, that guy's not playing bad for being 20-something rated or whatever he is.
That's what we talked
about. No
about.
bars at all.
Let's bring him up.
No bars at all, man.
And I don't even know, he has no bars. How in the world is this guy number 10 on the avoid interception bar?
So, Jugs,
I'm going to use the restroom, guys, while you keep talking.
Yeah, go ahead. Jugs, I thought I talked, maybe I didn't, but so I was looking in free agency, right? And I got to get a quarterback because I ain't got fucking shit. So Tyrus Dennis is above this guy, rated 45. He's got all these bars.
I'll be back.
Yep.
Yeah, but
all
Tyrus
these bars.
Dennis is an interception machine.
Yes. All right. And then, but he's rated 45. And then I look at this guy, his bars went down further because he crashed when he got to my team on PS2. And this guy's rated 42 with no bars. And then the guy below him is rated 40 with a bunch of fucking bars. So I'm like, okay, so here's the hidden X factor, whatever. And I looked him up, and his avoid interception was 70 plus. So I'm like, okay, fuck it, I'm signing. There's something to that avoid interception hidden calculator that, and again, I just plugged him in, dude. I got, Schultz a few more passes. I got Jose Cole. I had to, adjust for him coming in and being able to actually go over the middle. And he's not playing well. And then I had to get my my fullback a couple more fucking passes. But outside of that, the game plan hasn't changed, and he's just fucking killing it, dude. And again, maybe it's not him. Maybe it's like Reuter. Reuter's having a fucking great season. After like sitting on the sidelines for how many years because I had cohesion with other guys,
Right.
And then he had that big ass injury and shit. So,
yeah, Reuter's got 7 touchdowns.
Yep. And again, I'm proud that, you only have to change your defense when you play me. And you always fucking kill me every time you fucking do it.
Yeah, for his overall to be 30, and you can just look and see he only has 4 bars that are 30 or high, or actually 3 that are 30 or higher.
Yep.
His avoid interception bar is pretty high.
Yeah, he's fucking hidden. And
again, he has multiple 0 bars. That's just crazy.
Yeah, and those the interceptions came from you and Toronto. So
Well, Toronto's roster's loaded on offense and defense.
Yeah.
He's loaded on both sides of the ball.
Oh,
they're gonna have the first overall pick. Did you all talk about that trade?
Yes, we did. We talked about that. But we also talked about how Derek's actually a really good GM and that he's a passing team. So this is a perfect fit to grab T-Zac's fucking crap. And then, again, you saw us posted in the forum, didn't you? It's like, I'm just trying to drive a friend's sports car and not try to crash it. That's exactly what he's trying to do.
Yes,
well, he's going to end up with 1.1, and there's going to be a quarterback, wide receiver, running back. He doesn't like to run the ball, but there's going to be a 70-plus rated offensive player there. There's going to be.
Yep.
And he's going to end up with him because we had another idiot trade.
Yeah, and then maybe some of us can vulture some of his other wide receivers. I think Chris was talking earlier that he kept trying to get that Worsney guy from Derek as soon as he got the team, and he won't trade him. So,
well, he should trade him. He's in like his 9th year.
Yeah, go to
Toronto.
Toronto? No, yeah, Warzella.
Warzella, here we go.
I think he's in his 9th year.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
He's 31. Yeah, you should trade him.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. He's not going to get a first and a second or whatever the hell he got. He's not going to get 1.1 overall.
I tell you right now, Chris would probably give him a fucking first for this fucking pick. His first next year. What's left on his contract? Well, he probably can't sign him. I don't know. But yeah, Chris already fucking said, he's like, yeah, I fucking tried to I PM'd him about Warzella, tried to fucking trade for him. He won't do it.
Well, if you looked at a couple, I don't know if he's had the team for 3 or 4 games now. If you looked at a couple of the games, the first couple of games, he over-targeted Warzella. Like, Warzella had something like 31 targets to one game or something. It was something insane.
Yeah, that was the first game plan he did. We talked about that. I had told you I was
Clay,
wrong.
Pull up, just go to Warzella's stats. Just click on
this
click
year.
on there. Yeah, 28 targets.
There we go. This brings us down.
And he fixed it. That was his first game that he planned.
Yeah, 28 targets and then 18, and then he sort of fixed it the last game.
Yep. Yep, he'll get it fucking figured out for sure. I'm just, like I said, I'm excited to have fucking Derek back. He's been a good guy. I got his number. I get to talk to him, and he's a good GM. And
yes, he is. Any surprises for you, Jugs, on the way the teams are playing out so far?
besides my team,
Yes.
I'm honestly surprised that Colorado is so bad and his quarterback is awful this year.
We talked about that. We agree
I
with
think
you.
I think he posted that this morning. I just cannot believe Diaz is playing that bad. I don't know. I don't know if he changed his game plan, if he changed his philosophy. There's no excuse for this quarterback to be playing that bad.
No, and fucking Ashton Small's still running pretty good. Maybe
And he has talent on offense. I'm not sure what happened. I mean, the guy's still rated 60 overall. I have no idea what happened to his quarterback.
We agree with you 1,000%. This is what we brought up. We said the surprise is Colorado.
I mean, even if he's not winning the division, I think I said this, one of the last shows I was on. He's a hard game. Every game I face him, like, I never blow him out. Like, he's a tough game. Even if he's not going 11-5, 12-4, he could go 7-9, and my games against him are still tough. He swept me last year.
Yeah, he did.
What did I miss?
We're talking about Colorado's
Talking
team
about Colorado's team.
and his quarterback, how bad
What
he's doing. This was
what
like
happened to
one
his
of the
QB?
shockers.
What happened to him? Did he drop?
No,
Oh,
no, he's still rated the same, and he still got talent on offense. I will say, I thought it was a mistake. He invested so much money in Dwayne Yellow.
Yeah. Because he ain't going to work him like Ben did. We talked about that.
Well, I mean, other than T-Zac, who else was going to get that kind of production out of him? I mean, there's two GMs in the league that would have gotten that type of production, Ben and T-Zac. I mean, is there anybody else that would have gotten that production out of Yellow?
No. Pull up Yellow.
His endurance is like 14 or something.
Maybe quick. I don't know.
Pull up who?
Yellow. His third wide receiver there on the stats.
Got it.
What's his endurance? Yeah, his endurance is 21. I mean, he can only play like 3 formations, and he's probably getting tired.
Reed's probably pushing it. 113 and maybe 212.
Yeah, that's it. You can't have him on anything else.
You put him in 122, you're going to have a.
Well, he could probably be in one of the other weird formations, maybe 104 or
if you don't play
203.
him, but like even at like a 104 or 023, if you even play him in those formations and you play that actual formation in a play, he's losing endurance.
He's probably getting subbed out during the game.
Yeah,
Even if it doesn't show that he's tired afterwards, he's probably getting subbed out during the game.
Yep.
So yeah, when I saw him sign him, at first I'm like, ugh. And then I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? That's a whole bunch of money to put into a guy who can only play like 3 formations.
You better run a bunch of 113.
Yeah, and then the route running is only 56 to boot.
Wow, $82 million per year.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's QB money.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I think he actually makes more than his QB.
Now, does this kid's... Hopefully he's got him off of special teams. I'm going to have to fucking go look at some of that.
Wow.
This guy should not be playing special teams at fucking all.
No, I don't care what his rating is.
I'm not saying that he is, because I, would have to look at the fucking stats, but...
I'm going to look now.
All right.
No, you just go into his stats and go to, is it miscellaneous?
Yeah.
Pull up his stats.
It'll tell you right on his card. It's encouraged.
Yeah, no. Go to, miscellaneous. That's it. So he's on 75 special teams plays.
And 3
so
tackles. He can't be playing. Yep. You can't play this guy in special teams.
Nope.
I'm learning that with that Fajelsted kid that I have. He's a cornerback, great special teams, and great punt returning. But
and if you do all 3, he doesn't do very well with any of them.
I've had to play him. I've had a couple injuries, and he's got good zone, and like he's 90-some run blocking. I've had to play him. Every time I have to play that kid and start him in some position, he doesn't punt return near as well as he should. This kid shouldn't be on any formation. He should be doing special teams and punt returning, and that's fucking it. So yeah, Pizer, take that guy off special teams,
And
or don't.
And the other team,
So Jugs can win.
the other team, Jugs, is
Jinx. Jinx.
Chicago. Chicago turned his team around. Him in Iowa.
Well, I'm sure you all did this. Look at his roster. His roster's loaded with good players.
Are we talking about Chicago?
Chicago,
yeah,
yes.
Chicago's roster
he's
is
loaded.
absolutely loaded on offense and defense with good players.
Yep.
There's his team.
And no surprise. But we also talked about Chicago. They've come out of the fucking last 3 or 4 seasons with a bang. Just boom, 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 win the games. And then they turn, Clay said
They
it.
usually fall off in the
Yes.
second half.
That's
But
exactly
There's no
it.
way. Norman
get
Floyd,
this.
Gerald Crane.
So he passed on that young wide receiver to get the old head that T-Zac traded him. Just think where he'd be at if he had one of those younger wide receivers.
Yeah, but I can't complain. Bankston, dude, he's the number 1 wide receiver the last 3 seasons as far as yards is concerned. I can't complain about the Bankston fucking trade. I don't think he should have did it.
Other wide receivers that were available would be number 1 also.
Yep. But Tomlinson's key.
He didn't
Gerald
get
Crane
enough
is
value for that pick.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
I agree with that.
The player, there's nothing wrong with the player, and he's milked every ounce of talent out of him that he could. And he's done a good job with that. But he could have gotten more value for that pick.
There is something after the bye. He falls off the cliff, his team.
Maybe not this year.
Well, the bye is tomorrow for him, like me. We'll see then from then on. Let's see.
And then he goes to Jugs.
I know.
So Jugs is going to kick his ass.
Well, there you go. His season's over.
He's 5-1. His season's not over.
No, he could lose one to Jugs and be 5-2.
He's got Oakland, Colorado, Arizona, Kansas, Fort Wayne, Williamsburg, San Antonio, Iowa, Houston, and Kansas again.
Yeah, he's coming at my place.
That's not an easy schedule.
Yeah, he should still make the playoffs, though, looking at that schedule.
You'd like to think so, yeah. But that's not easy.
Especially the way his team is playing right now. I mean, look at the defensive rankings that he has on his team.
Yeah,
yeah, he's fucking insane.
That's what we talked about. He's ranked number 1, allowing 12 points per game,
plus 8 in turnovers.
And he's
the only team in the league that's given up under 100 points so far.
He's put up 27 points.
Oakland has only given up 93. I should have known Jugs.
Yeah, Jugs' defense is always great.
73-93. Everybody else is over 100.
I like that. He's making our division even more competitive. And Iowa, the same thing. Turned his team around.
Kind of. Trying. But with who? Who does he got? Who's this Jay Bauer
The quarterback is a rookie. That team's only going to go so far with that player because that quarterback's not that good. He's playing a very conservative offense, and it's just that quarterback's only going to take him so far.
What do you think he lands on his record? If you guys had to give him a record,
I'd say probably 8-8, 9-7.
I was going to say 8-8, 7-9.
I was thinking 7-9.
7-9 as well. Yes, same here. But yeah, we went through all the teams. I'm not happy with my team at all. Ike's not playing well. My wide receiver, who, like I told you guys, who came in for Huntley, is playing so much better. This guy,
so Jugs,
I'm happy with.
You want to yell at Clay too for trading Newtile to Bob?
Oh yes.
I didn't understand the trade from Clay's perspective.
All right, you go off, man. I gotta smoke quick. I'll be right back.
I didn't understand why Clay traded him unless Clay was going to just go full T-Zac and pass every play.
I'm more of a passing team. Number 2, I'm not going to be able to afford Newtile. And if I wait till next year to trade him and no one wants to take him, I'm stuck with either dropping him or trading him to somebody for a lesser value. So it was better for me to make the trade this season, get my picks, and get a running back that can help my passing game. And that is why I made that trade. If not, I would have kept Newtile if I can afford him. And I'm a passing team. I'm not a running team. Like if I was a Howie's offense, Newtown would be on my team forever. Or a Brian with Augusta. Or you, Jug. That running back will be with me forever. And I would have really no wide receivers, we'll call it. That's why that trade went through. Or that's why I made that trade, I should say.
Okay. Well, your offense isn't what it is. What has been in the past is because your wide receivers have all dropped in ratings, all of them.
They're all getting older.
Absolutely, you are correct. Like dropped. Zuma, he still has what I need him to have. Huntley, who's out.
Eichhorst dropped a little bit too.
Mm-hmm. But I'm going to try to stay competitive.
I mean, he's
as best as I can.
Huntley's 13th year. Sumas is 10th year now. Passage is 11th year. You need some juice.
I do. What's keeping me in my games is special teams in my defense. Basically, turnovers.
Well,
that's what's keeping me in my games. Like against Jugs, the reason why I tied, Jugs posted it. I had a punt return, and what else did I have, Jugs? Was it a...
I don't know, maybe a turnover in the red zone,
and we tied the game. So it's going to be an interesting year, my division. If I had to choose in my division, I think it would be Arizona or Chicago that comes out of it first, second.
No, didn't Arizona get somebody hurt?
His QB.
Yeah, their QB. Horner's out. But he'll be back in a couple of weeks. And then,
well, that's probably two losses until he comes back. Who does Arizona play next couple of games?
I was going to say, Arizona, he's been out. Cody Horner's already been out, and he's already won a couple games without him. So
Fairbanks and Kansas are his next two. And then you.
Yeah. He'll probably beat Fairbanks, probably lose to Kansas.
And probably lose to Oakland.
With Horner in.
For some reason, he has we go back and forth, him and I, with wins and losses. So it's always competitive. So it's like anyone's game when we play each other.
Yeah, I like the division games, but I fucking dread them because you never know what's going to fucking happen. I mean, Quick forever has beaten me at home. Then all of a sudden he's got a rookie quarterback and he can't beat me at home. So,
well, I mean, Quick had to know that there were going to be growing pains with that quarterback. I mean,
obviously, and he's still 3-3. So, I mean,
well, let's get him up.
No qualms there.
What I don't get, and I said this to Red Zone last week, how in the world did none of us see that quarterback was going to be that good?
I had a gut feeling, but I didn't have the balls to pull the trigger.
I mean, he was picked 8th overall. He's a 75 rated quarterback. Why didn't this guy go like top 3?
And it was an auto pick too, right? But Quick had him on his list.
Yeah, it was an auto pick, right?
Yeah, but Quick had him on his list already. I can guarantee you that.
But here's the thing.
Well, he might not have.
He was the third or fourth.
He's not his color scheme.
I don't know. I wish he was here tonight.
He was really the third or fourth QB in the draft, though. I mean,
he's a yellow. I mean, he's a green QB. Quick drafts red.
So,
yep.
This is the two quarterbacks that went first and second. So North Plainfield Banks went first. Bauer went second.
I thought Banks was a slam dunk best QB in the class, which obviously appears to be second best. I never liked Bauer. I just didn't understand that pick.
I didn't like him.
Sometimes GMs get desperate. They see a quarterback there. They're picking top 5. They pick anyway, and they're just hoping for a miracle. There was nothing about Bauer that indicated he was really going to be any good to me.
I don't know, man. Let me go look at his my conscriptors, see what I fucking showed him with. Because I don't think it was fucking... Oh, what's that Morton kid doing on... oh, God, yeah. My bars for Courtney Banks were off the charts, but I only have 76 scouting on my guy. Yeah,
Bauer is set to be at 16 to 46, so he's around 40-something rated, Bauer.
Volatility is fucking 49, too. Yeah, no, my scout would have showed this guy being the best.
When he gets fully developed, Quick's going to be a problem. He's already a problem. He's going to be a bigger problem.
Well, if Quick don't get rid of him. But yeah, it's only 7 touchdowns, fucking 3 interceptions. That's good. And Courtney Banks ain't even fucking starting. Fucking Surt's got that other fucking kid playing real well.
Yeah, who's he? That's interesting. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, that someone mentioned in the forum about their offense.
Oh, he's got...
Ruben. Yeah. That's trade fodder right there, man.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, he's 63 overall.
I'm 61.
Banks is 32.59. I mean, flip a coin. Who do you like better? Trade the other one.
True. Banks is already 24 years old.
And here's the thing. He's got both of them, so he can trade one of them for whatever the hell he wants.
Yep.
And he's cheap.
Yeah. And Whitman holds out next year. You got Courtney Banks waiting in the fucking wings.
Yep. You just throw Whitman on a trade block.
Would you take him? Any of you guys?
Is he green?
Whitman?
No, he's red. Dude, that could be a fucking... Oh, I'm not going to say it. Quick could trade for that guy. I said it.
Burkett's red.
And then fucking trade Tucker.
Why would Quick trade for him when he has Tucker?
Yeah, it's...
Because he's an affinity, and Quick's an affinity team.
Oh, yeah.
You think Quick would trade away...
He's not going to give up cap for another 60 rated quarterback. If it was somebody like 35 or 40 rated, yeah, he's not going to spend the kind of money for that guy to be on the bench.
Yeah, I agree.
That's one of the things I like about Burkett. He's red.
An affinity for you?
He's triple affinity.
Sweet.
Well, Joe's made a good point that some GMs get desperate on a player that they need or a position they need desperately, and they just grab the guy that they think is going to make their team better.
Well, I mean, I missed out on DeWatt because of that. I didn't have him especially rated, but I needed a fucking safety. I got Eisenbart, and he's going to be okay. I think he's not an affinity. He's not fucking anything to the team.
But that's the other thing. So how did we all miss on DeWatt? He's a 70 rated wide receiver that slipped to the second half of the first round.
Because Howie's got excellent fucking scouting.
Oh, Howie told us about this.
But Ben didn't go after him.
Ben did go after him. Ben did go after him. Ben, Howie fucking said, Ben asked me to trade for this pick, and I was going to pick, and I'm like, I got to go look at shit because they already admitted they're looking for a wide receiver. So he's like, I went to the wide receivers, I fucking looked, this was the best rated guy, and I fucking picked him.
Yep.
Howie would have not picked that wide receiver had Ben not fucking tried to get that pick from him.
Actually, two people reached out to Howie about his pick. And then he said, there's someone out there, wide receiver, that everyone's missed, and I'm going to look at it. Red Zone just grilled Howie about that, saying, on my sheet, Red Zone saying, he's like number 10. How did you know? He asked
because Howie's got great fucking scouts.
Yeah, but even Howie Scott showed him as the 5th best receiver in the draft with like a 69 bar score.
And
that's not a first round pick. It's what he said. Ben wants him. Something's going on. I'm taking him.
Someone's going to
have to. And that's what Ben
fucking
told us all to do.
Yeah.
But I would have never known it was that guy. He wasn't. Nope. He's not one of my top 3 or 4 wide receivers. I saw in the
Howie said he wasn't even looking at him. But until Ben,
And he
Ben
runs a
came up to
4.3,
him.
840. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
It's got to be the 40. It's got to be the bench, and it's got to be the agility score. It's got to be all three.
Yep. It's fucking
Because
insane.
he really popped after
But-
PS2.
but that's exactly what Ben told us all to do. You know,
Yeah.
when him and T-Zach start asking, you know, there's somebody there. Either
That's a wide receiver.
ask for a lot more than their initial offer because you know they're willing to pay more, or pick somebody, look harder.
Well, that's what I did with Grimmer years ago
That's what Howie
when he
did.
wanted Hopper. I knew he wanted Hopper, and I knew Hopper was going to be like a 75 rated player.
And he ended up being
who-
90 for a spell.
Yeah,
didn't he?
who knew he was going to pop up to 96 for a couple seasons?
Well, yeah, but it's again, this is why I like having friends in the fucking league. I try to trade with someone, and like, Jokes is like, yeah, no, I know who you're going for, and it's going to cost a lot more than that. I'm like, well, all right, take them.
I'm sure
And he
Ben
did.
next time is just going to sit and wait. Then he's just going to say, "Let me see," because if
How
I
far
say
will he
anything,
fall?
if I say
Yeah.
anything, I'm going to put out a red flag, and everyone's going to start looking at that position. And
Now he won't change it. He posted it in the forums. He's like, hey, if I'm looking for a draft pick from you, there's somebody there that's way better than you think they're going to fucking be. And
But-
how he made the right call this year.
But Ben has sat at the end of the first round before at 129, 131, 132, and still gotten a 65 rated wide receiver. I've seen him do it many times.
Yep.
T-Zach drafted a 65 rated wide receiver a few seasons back at the end
Yep.
of the first round.
Yes.
We all
And
kept on. We did a show about it. We kept
Yes,
on
we
talking
did.
about what in the world did he see in this guy, and the guy jumped like 24 points at PS2.
So T-Zach's on a different level, I think, because I look at the scouts that he has, like every year that he drafts, and they're not even what Howie has right now, or what Clay has right now, or what Ben always has. Ben always has the best
Ben always has
scouts
good
in the fucking
scouting
league.
and good interviewing.
Yep.
But,
So-
but T-Zach's
T-Zach
been
must-
on the record to say that he listened to the Mac Powell video and he did everything that Mac Powell said, and that's how he got better at drafting. And I'm going to tell you, I've listened to that video 5 times, and I still don't think my drafting's gotten better.
No, I think I listened to it once when it came out, and I didn't get any of it. And
I mean,
probably
when
need
I
to go
had
revisit
time,
it.
I seriously, when I had time, I'd just be sitting around the house or be out driving on the road, and I would play that video just to see, like, okay, like maybe I missed something the first time I listened. Maybe I missed something the second or third time I heard it. Look, I don't know. Half the stuff he said seems foreign to me because I don't know that much about computers and all that other stuff. So
Yeah, they go into the 0011001001.
right.
Shit. But I don't understand that. These are tiny humans. But I understand combines and their correlations to the bars. You know what I'm saying? I
Right, but
understand
Grimmer,
that.
would you have looked at DeWatt and said he's a 70 rated wide receiver?
No, but I
No.
would have looked at the Watt because looking at my conscriptor, his bars were okay to me, and I have a 76 scout on offense, but I fucking needed a strong safety, and I got Eisenbart at 14. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't looking, and I got a solid wide receiving core. I mean, they've been together forever, and I picked up that Jose Cole, who's sucking this year, but Bubba Reuter's fucking coming on, and I got these guys, so I wasn't looking at a wide receiver. I needed that fucking safety, so DeWatt wasn't on my radar.
The
But
only
looking at
reason
him-
you got Jose Cole is because I forgot to renege a couple of my guys before I made that contract offer.
Well, that's on you, not me, man. I got him. I got him.
You got him. And he's not
doing shit.
playing good for you either.
No, he's not. He's playing terrible. He's got like the courage, and he's got some route running.
You
I'm
jinxed
sending
him,
him
Grim.
over the middle. Yeah,
Hey,
there's
Grim.
no.
You jinxed them.
And well, there's
Clay?
another thing. Like, look at his endurance. His endurance is 20.
Yeah, and I don't have him in everything. So he's
Come
just
on, Clay.
there's
You know,
no.
But his
say
contract is what?
0.
About half of what Yellup's is.
That's fine. He's getting half. Well, he's getting better production than the Yellup, so I can't complain, can I?
You want to get rid of him? I'll take him off your hand.
Wait, you want Cole? You can trade for him next year, sir. 2nd round pick,
You got it. It's a deal.
maybe.
You agreed way too easily.
Yeah. Now he's going to ask for a first.
Well, I'm not going to give it.
Yeah, Clay wouldn't give a first for this character. But no, he should be playing better than he does. But what do you do?
Yeah, why is your running back not doing so well this season? What's going
Well,
on?
he did well against me.
You did?
Yeah, we ran against Dry.
Let's see.
Well, he dropped again.
Oakland. Oh,
Dude,
yeah, he did. Wow,
But
6 yards.
you
per
couldn't
carry.
pass. You ran
couldn't
well, but you
pass.
couldn't pass.
Yep, couldn't pass. I think we throw 3 interceptions in that game too.
I think so. I think it was 3.
Yep. Yeah, but again, I like the fact that you have to adjust your game plan for me, and probably no other teams.
I don't think I adjusted my game plan for you.
Yeah, you did. You said you were going to do it. Or was
Yeah,
that
that's what I
last season?
told you. I adjusted my offensive game plan for you, not my defensive game.
Well, that
plan.
don't fucking you fucking just pass.
As
Do
he-
whatever you want against my defense.
Because I actually came out and passed it on you again that game.
Yep.
As Worcester, his whole recognition dropped.
Uh,
I remember.
yeah, check
Bigger.
it. No, I think it did drop. He did drop. He did go down some ratings this fucking year. Yeah, just click on him, Clay. He'll bring up the scouts. League scouts, yeah. So he
There we
dropped.
go. Yeah.
He dropped 7 points here, and I think that's pretty close to what I'm showing him dropping.
I'm showing a 12-point drop.
But yeah,
League scout.
again, I'll go back to the Jim Sink retiring. He was a right tackle that just was always 60 plus run blocking. In his heyday, he was 80 plus. So we lost a fucking big cohesion guy, and I'm struggling. I don't have fucking run blockers. I got like Miles Hayes, my center. He's a run blocker, and he's not even playing well this year. So yeah, I mean, this kid's gonna fucking struggle, but hopefully the fucking quarterback still does fucking doing well.
All right, we're 6 games in. If you had to pick winners of the division, what do you guys say? We'll start with NC North, my division. Who do you think takes that division? And we'll go down.
I'll stay with what I know. Arizona.
Okay, Grim.
It's either Arizona or Chicago. I'm gonna go Chicago.
How about you?
I think it.
Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Oh,
Grim?
yeah, I just think Crane is a great fucking running back. And he's got a good fucking quarterback over there and good defense.
He could win it. I'm going to stay with what I know.
Yeah,
Till
I like
Arizona
Melvin.
falls on his face, I think he's going to be there at the end.
Yeah, and I think, Clay's wide receivers are old and brittle, and he shouldn't have traded his running back who had 2,300 yards and 17 rushing touchdowns the last 2 seasons.
Chicago
Not
could very
calling
well
you
be
last.
there. He's got a good team.
Yeah.
And they're playing really well. I'm not slighting him at all.
Yeah, Tomlinson's a good quarterback.
How about you,
So, yeah,
Jugs?
I'll pick Chicago.
I don't know how you pick against Chicago. They're leading the division by a game and a half, and they have a 2-0 record inside the division.
Because every year
he would really. I mean, he would need to have a collapse in order.
They
not to
usually
take
do
his
in the second half of the season.
he's done
We
that about
discussed
3
that.
seasons in a row.
Yep.
Yeah, I just think this team's better between
Yeah, I
the
think-
quarterback and the running back. And like I say, his defense is just playing lights out. I just don't see that
Yep.
happening this year. I'm saying Chicago.
No, I have to agree. Chicago as well. His defense is just off the charts right now.
And good on him. Zappa's been fucking trying to stay a part of the league, listening to shows, talking a lot.
Mhm.
Good on him.
Let's go to NC South. Cap
But Clay,
City.
don't come in last. Don't come in last.
I'm going to do my best to try to take the division. How's that?
There you go.
NC South, Cap City, Outer Banks, Texas, or Moontown?
Moontown's done.
That is, look, there have been some bad trades. Mech made a couple really bad trades. That's one of the worst in the history of the league.
Yep, we talked about that too, sir.
He hasn't made the playoffs in what, 30 seasons?
25 at least, I think I mentioned.
I mean, that's
even Ben posted in that trade.
Well, I actually talked to Ben before that.
This
before,
might not have been a good
when
trade.
the trade first got posted, I talked to Ben, and we both kind of just like laughed at it.
Yep.
But it's not illegal. It follows the rules.
Yep.
But yeah, I have no idea what in the world that guy was thinking.
We know what he was thinking. It's Moontown, and he's been in the league for 20 plus seasons. It's
he took over for Bomber. So when did Bomber left? Like 30 something seasons ago.
Bomber, I miss that fucking cat. I wish he put his name back in the list, dude. Man, we have some fucking great back and forth.
Still be 3 years till he gets back in.
Yeah, true. No one's getting in this league because no one's fucking leaving.
The only thing I can think why he made that trade, which would be the same thing with Zappa, is T-Zac reached out to him and said, hey, you need a wide receiver that's good. I have a guy that I no longer need. How about you give me a first-round pick for him?
Yes, gentlemen, would you rewind back to when I said I don't know who initiated the trade?
I'm
2
sure
hours ago, T-Zac reaches out to people that suck and says, hey, I'll give – I mean, he knows I didn't suck, with the Whitfield or the Witten trade that I made with him. But he's like, hey, give me a third-round pick for this guy. Make Williamsburg great again. So, yes. So that – you're right, Jugs. That – go back and listen to the show. We already talked about – we're talking about everything.
Look, honestly, I can't operate like that. To me, I would just feel slimy if I operated that way. Because to me, you're purposely taking advantage of somebody who doesn't know better.
Yes,
what you should be trying to do is help the league, and what you're trying to do is take advantage so you can just win at all costs. I just think that's slimy.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
It's the old Star Wars thing. These aren't the drones you're looking for. Hey, you don't need any draft picks. I mean, is he hypnotizing people or what? Come on.
No, but go to a sucker GM.
That's a horrible
point
trade.
And say, hey, man, I got this great. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't even have fucking 59 route running, and that's going to drop. Well, we talked about it. It's going to drop to 48, and he's worthless next year.
Next year, yeah.
And then
next
you
year
give up your
drop.
first round fucking pick.
It will drop next year.
You got a young quarterback. He needs a wide receiver to throw to. I got a guy I'm not using. Give me a first for him. Normally, I would ask for 2 firsts, but I'm going to let him go to you for 1 first.
Yep.
I can just imagine
which is
how
the
to
top
PM
5 first.
Yep.
Well, not a bad strategy. Maybe we should be hitting some people up. Hey, look at my guy. He's got like fucking 80 route running, dude. Give me a first for him. Yeah, no slimy. I can agree with that. But I like T-Zac. I don't know.
I like Zach too, but that's just fucked up. You shouldn't be doing like that.
But again, gentlemen, we don't know how that went down. SFL could have approached him about the guy, but I also know that T-Zac reaches out to people about trading people. So
I don't know.
You guys want to give me who's going to take that division?
Clay. He's like, let's move this along, dude.
I'm going to go with Moontown.
Moontown's going to win that?
No,
come on, serious.
Well, as much as I like Howie, it's not going to be Howie. I don't know, and I don't know what you guys talked about earlier. I don't know what happened to his team this year. They look awful.
He's won 2 in a row, and all he needed was the pounding of me to get back in the league. So,
look at his quarterback, though.
We talked about the defense. We talked about his quarterback. So it's his defense and his quarterback.
Yep, that motherfucker's gonna start that Griffin kid that will bring him up. Kid, I say, but he's like 31, 32. I don't know. I'm 48, so I don't give a fuck. But the Griffin kid that he said has like 10 years of cohesion. Yeah, Howie, just start him, but don't target him if he can't play. If it brings the cohesion,
he's got a wide receiver or a tight end on his team.
Wide receiver. Antonio Griffin.
Yep.
Okay. I'm not familiar with him.
No, he's been on a team for 10 seasons.
So he's using the rot bar to keep anybody else from being.
Oh, hold on. Let me get this right. He's got the guy on the team for 10 seasons and he never plays.
He played.
That's what he was
Is he a
saying is
special
half the
teams?
problem. No,
Is he a special teams demon or?
He had 80 targets the last 2 seasons.
no, you'll listen tomorrow, Jugs. Howie will talk about how he lost a bunch of cohesion when he didn't play this kid. So he thinks that's part of the problem. So maybe he needs to play this fucking guy, but not target him if he sucks.
Okay.
He's got a 76 route bar, 74 get downfield, and he's 50 overall. He doesn't suck.
Then I don't know what the problem is. Yeah,
I'm bringing him up right now. What's his name? Griffin?
Yeah.
Antonio Griffin.
why
Yeah,
aren't you starting that kid? Every fucking
Oh, wow.
what?
I
He
like
looks
this
pretty
guy.
decent.
I like this guy.
Yeah, well, he's returning kicks too. He doesn't have a lot of endurance, but he's got to get him back on the field in whatever formation that he passes out the most.
Howie,
You don't even target the guy.
if you're listening tomorrow, I'll probably text you. I'll take him off your hands.
You better hurry up, man. We're getting on to week 8 here.
Coming along pretty quick.
Fuck, I'd take that guy. He's blue even. And he's only 30. I got a kick returner, but
Yeah, he looks like a solid guy. I don't know why he'd have him on the bench.
because he's returning kicks and playing special teams.
Yeah. He's probably trying to get DeWatt developed too.
Yeah, but Watt can play. I mean, this kid should play in the 1-1-3 every play. Just don't target him.
You were getting right. Oh, you got Capital City now. I was going to say click on Outer Banks because Outer Banks has kind of surprised me.
Sure, I'll get Outer Banks on.
Man, he's trying.
Wilkinson's not playing well for him at all.
Not this year. Last year was
but look at his turnovers. He's number 1 in the league in forced turnovers. I don't know what he's doing on defense this year that's different than years past.
Oh shit.
Yes. Even though he's getting the turnovers, he's still giving up 23 points per game. His defense. He's ranked 15.
Yeah, that's mid-league. He's number 16.
And he's not putting up points, Jugs. He's only putting up 20 points per game, so he's ranked 24 there. So those two combinations, even though he gets the turnovers, he's not scoring.
Right, and he's throwing the ball too much.
He doesn't have any running backs this year. I thought Tony liked to fucking run a bit back in the day, but he's got no running backs.
But look at his. He's number 1 in pass attempts, but he's number 9 in yards.
Yep.
Well,
you
both
can't
of
run
these
it.
teams, Howie's QB dropped 10 points according to the League Scout, and Wilkerson's dropped 9 points over the last 2 seasons according to
Yep.
the League Scouts. I mean, that's why they're both playing worse. You don't drop 10 points and not have that effect.
Well, then you shouldn't be throwing the ball 60 times a game. Then
No, but he's
Yeah, but
always had.
Jugs, he can't run either right now. There's no running backs on the team.
But if you look at like last season, he threw 751 times with Wilkerson last year. He threw 700 times and sometimes 800 times every year. He had Ronaldo Wilson. He's always been heavy pass. Go back and look.
No. But he's got Bernie Wiggins at tight end. He's got Joseph Stevens at wide receiver. He's got Blake Flowers at wide receiver. Last year's 1-1 pick.
I mean, he's going to throw the ball. He always has.
I say this every show. We talk about there's a team that's passing too much. Whether now it's him, whether it's Alf and Bordeaux.
Yep.
Everybody can't be T-Zac. Like everybody can't throw the ball 60 times a game.
Frederick can.
And have success.
And I agree with your assessment of Frederick. Fuck off.
Well, I mean, he's copied T-Zac's game plan step by step. I mean, he's not even running anything original. He's literally copied T-Zac in the league that he plays with T-Zac in. And it's like there's no shame in him doing that.
No, we talked about the passing earlier too. Huh. What game did you watch?
There's
today,
just no
Jones?
way I could run somebody else's game plan, like play for play, and just feel good about myself. I just couldn't do it.
Well, we talked about that.
Yes.
And I don't know if you heard the other show, is that if you follow someone else's game plan or playbook, it is not you that's making your team win. You are now a carbon copy of the other GM. And so you don't feel like you accomplished anything.
But it goes even further than that. You're using something that you know works, but you don't know why it works because you didn't create it. So when it stops working and you have to tweak it, you don't know how to do that.
Yep.
It's not yours. You can't fix it. You don't even know what's broke. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
And
no,
he'll-
and I've
He'll
actually
be looking for a QB next year because Baskey dropped this off season.
Oh yeah, big time.
he did again.
And I just look, he's got a 77 rated running back on his team. I don't know if he's still 77 rated.
72, I believe.
70, okay.
On the website.
There's just no way that guy'd be on my team and he's not getting the ball 25 times a game.
And he just re-signed him this offseason.
That was probably to lower his contract. Because he can't trade him.
Yeah.
He's not allowed to trade him.
Well, he can trade him.
No, he can't.
No, you got
Well,
to
he's got
somebody
to
to
have
replace him.
that 55
Yeah, who's the backup running back?
rated guy with no hole
And his
rack.
contract is insane. Who would want to take on that contract?
That's 37. That's not a contract for.
Well, right,
But don't say- but he's 32.
He capped him out this year.
Yeah,
Who we
he's
talking
32.
about?
He's getting cut next year.
What?
We should have cut him this year.
He should have come 3 seasons ago when he signed.
If he
the
wasn't
fucking-
going to use him, he should have just cut him, and he had
Yeah.
the cap room to get another wide receiver or tight
Yeah,
end.
because you know who would have got him? You would have, Jugs. You would have picked this guy up in free agency when he's cut.
You know what? You're
And-
right. I would have.
You
Yep.
talking about Reeves?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
This guy needs to play, and he's not playing. And I fucking hate that about this guy.
His game plan doesn't have him for him.
No.
His game plan isn't planned
He switched to
around
the T-Zac passing, but click on that fucking stat bar, Clay. The
Oh yeah,
above one.
I mean,
What-
it's
what-
just,
Which one? What?
it's like McIntyre in Chicago when I left. And
Yes, that.
Zappa took over.
Click on that.
Look,
the
look at
history.
the rushing yards.
The
Look at
history
the
of this
last 3
boy.
seasons.
Look at the last 3 seasons.
Yep, that's when he switched to passing.
He's run for as many yards in the last 3 seasons as it would take him half a season any of the previous 6.
Right, exactly. I mean, this guy was actually on his way to setting the league rushing record.
Yep,
Yep,
absolutely had a chance.
I agree. But with today's rules, or this season rules anyways, you can't trade this guy.
But you don't need to. You keep running them.
Yes. But that's Loyal is Jimmy over in RZB, ain't he?
Yeah.
Okay. Good guy.
Okay. So, Cap City, you think he's going to take it out of Banks, Texas, or Moontown?
Oh, we got yeah.
I'm picking Cap City out of default only because it doesn't look like the other 3 teams are going to overtake him. But I don't like Cap City's quarterback.
Why?
Look at him.
So you think Jugs?
He's got 103 rating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so far.
this you think it's an illusion? Like, what's his name?
I think
he-
think in the second half of the season he's going to fall off. There's no
Yeah.
way. There's no way
'Cause
he
he al-
holds that quarterback rating all
He always
season.
does, just
He
like
drops.
Chicago and just like.
I
God, what's the
remember
other
when he
team
was
we
50
discussed?
future. He's down to 38. That's terrible. Huh. I'm taking
That's
Howie. I'm staying with what I know. I'm taking
Yep.
Howie.
I'll take Howie for it too.
I think Howie also is going to come back with his team as well. I think he's going to figure it out.
Maybe he already has. He's won 2 in a row.
Yeah, he did. I told him earlier, fucking tonight, Jugs, that I was his launching point. I let you beat me.
Oh.
Dude, he had 7 offensive touchdowns. Usually, when someone beats you by 48, they have defensive touchdowns or a punt return or something return. You bitch about that a lot, Jugs. What's wrong with your team? Why can't you stop punt returns or kick returns?
Tomorrow, we'll see tomorrow with Frederick, but I'm picking a Howie. All right, we have Frederick, Williamsburg, Chesapeake, and Brooklyn. This is a good division, by the way.
I'm going with Grimmer. I'm
Yep.
going with Williamsburg.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yep, him and his 29 overall QB. Me too.
Dude, I really need this.
Yeah,
Really need to
I
win the
think
division.
Grimmer, you're playing well. You, the only concern I have with your team, Grimmer, if you can fix it, is your defense.
Dude, I got so many good guys on defense that can play the
Wait
things
a
they
minute.
need to play.
Hold on, that is a concern. What's up with that defense, Grim?
Like, he's putting up 30 points, Grim. He's ranked number 3. However, he's given up 30 points per game.
Which is tied for second worst.
Which, look, and I'm first worst. Am I?
Hey, Clay, can we change?
No, I'm going to stay with Grimmer. I'm just saying, if he can
No,
just
I'm
fix
saying,
his defense,
Can I change?
Yes.
Can I get a do-over here?
you're more than welcome.
Dude, I went back to the game plan I had. What defensive game plan I had against Jops?
I'm going to say quick.
Oh,
Quick's gonna win that.
well, Grimmer already beat Quick. He's got the tiebreaker.
Now,
They play twice, though, don't they?
Yeah.
here's the interesting part is
The
Frederick.
next one's at Chesapeake. So
But Chesapeake is 0-2 in the division. Grimmer's 2-0. That's he already has the tiebreaker.
how much did he pay you to try and convince me?
But
I ain't paying nobody nothing. What are we even talking about right now?
Frederick, by the way, he's only allowed 18 points. He's almost allowed half the amount that Grimmer has allowed.
Yeah, he's got a good defense.
He does.
I don't.
And
I
he's,
don't
know
think
what
that
happened.
QB will hold up all season.
who's,
I think it's either Quick or Williamsburg. I don't think Frederick's QB
No,
will hold up all season.
Baskey is prone to like a 5 interception game. You know.
He's also prone to injury.
Yep. And I've only been prone so far with my shitty QB to a 3 interception game. So
I just
well, we
the
picked you.
more I think about it, the more I think that as the season goes on, Quick's going to figure this QB out a little bit. He's going to progress a little
Quick's
bit.
not changing his game
no,
plan.
he's not changed his game plan.
Quick hasn't changed his game plan in like 30 seasons. He's not changing
Nope.
his game plan.
Yeah, there's no. This guy either fits in or he fucking doesn't.
Right. Right.
That's it.
Quick will find a wide receiver or tight end to try and make this guy work.
Yep.
And then if something happens where it doesn't, he'll find a replacement and then trade him.
No, and honestly, yeah, Jugs, honestly, like the only changes I made to my game plan, okay, get a couple guys, a couple more plays, but I just switch out the individuals. I like Bubba Reuter's having a season of his life. Playing
Right.
split
But
end,
your
but
offense
he
is
hasn't
fine.
started.
It's your defense is falling apart this year.
Yeah, my defense is just, I don't, well, I talked about that early in the season too, because even Bob, I was talking with Bob about this. It's like, yeah, we suck, but I found a bunch of guys that weren't supposed to be where they're supposed to be. It's like, all right. Well, we'll see. I mean,
Okay,
I
I'll stay with Grimmer, Clay. I'm going back.
You got it.
All over the map.
you ain't going with me.
So
I'm gonna win the bowl this season, gentlemen. So pick your picks.
Oh.
NC West, we have Oakland, Fairbanks, Colorado.
Wait a second. Who picked who?
We all picked you.
Yeah,
All right.
all four of us.
Frederick's winning the division, though. I'll pick Frederick.
Okay. Now we jump over to NC
Wait, we
West.
all picked you, and you're not picking yourself?
He doesn't
Nope.
believe.
I'll make a wild card. I need to go wild card so I can win it. Dude, I've won the bowl 2 times
my
coming in as a
God.
wild card, dude.
That's not how it works. You know that, right?
Dude, you understand that that's
That's like believing in Jinx. Yes.
unreal.
You might
All
as
right.
well believe in leprechauns and
The bottom one's easy, Oakland.
yeah, Oakland all the way.
Nobody else is even playing good.
Oakland all the way.
I'm still upset about that tie with Clay.
So am I. I prefer a win or a loss.
Play that tie might have got you into the playoffs this year, though. So
I hate it. I hate ties.
fucking hate ties, dude. There's been a whole lot of
My
them
kicker
last-
missed a 37-yard field goal with like 30 seconds left.
Because I
Who's
said
your kicker?
boo.
Is he shitty?
I never pay for a kicker, Grimmer.
I
I'll
never
have
do
shitty
either. I
kickers.
had to pay for one this year because
No.
Jugs, and that's
I
why
got a
you
$10
missed
million
that.
kicker. God damn it!
And that's
No.
why you missed that kick. 'Cause
You will
pay for
never,
a
you
kicker.
will never ever, and actually Red Zone told me this a few years back. You will never ever catch me paying big money for a kicker.
What do you
Never.
consider big money for a kicker? If you don't
Well,
mind.
here's
10
my
million
thing.
10
Chances
million
are
plus.
you're gonna see. If you look at my roster, you're gonna find a guy that's either very cheap or a guy that's like within 4 years, like he's on his rookie contract.
He doesn't
Yep.
even look at his roster. This is how good this guy is at that. Your kicker is rated 56 to 56, and you're paying him fucking $2.5 million this year. That's nothing. And he went up this year after PS2. That's retarded.
Okay,
I've
but
said
what's
this- I've said this-
expensive? What's
Expensive
overpaying?
is
What's
10 million
overpaying?
plus.
Expensive is like in this league, it would probably be like 8 million plus.
Yeah.
Got you.
I've said this for years. A kicker there's a floor. Okay. In FOF or the NFL. Okay. You're not going to sign a kicker who only makes 3 out of 10 field goals. That guy doesn't exist. Most of them are going to make 7 out of 10. So what you're going to pay for when you pay a stud kicker, you're paying for that 8th field goal out of 10 and or that 9th field goal out of 10. Because very few make 10 out of 10.
And the
No.
guy that can hit 55 yarders.
Okay, so
Yeah. And I
yeah,
had to
and
fucking
the extra
grab a
leg.
guy
Now, hang
this
on.
year.
hang on. So if the guy attempts 30 field goals in the season and my guy is making 7, he made 21. And if your guy's making 9, he made 27. So you got 6 extra field goals over 16 games. How much money is that worth to you?
No, that's not how you look at it.
That's
Grim?
how I look at it.
I don't.
Grim,
I don't
hold
even
on,
know.
hold on. Not
half-
Grim.
half-
Jugs kicked the field goal that could have made him win the game and missed it. So that one of your 6 that you're counting, Red Zone, could be game-winning kicks.
Yep.
So instead
But you
of being,
can't predict that. I'm
yes,
predicting.
I can.
I'm-
we
I'm-
know it.
well,
we
here's
we
the
actually
other
know that's
thing.
a fact that he missed that kick.
But here's
Okay,
the other
but you
thing,
didn't know
Clay,
it before the
like,
game.
Like
you can't
my
predict that
court,
ahead of time.
True.
All you can do is say this is how many he'll make versus how many that guy will make,
I
and
don't.
how much money is that worth?
Nobody's predicting what their kickers can make.
but if you
Yes,
look
we are.
into
That's what I
the
just
log for what happened in overtime, like for some reason we didn't run another play or two. There was time to run another play or two and get closer.
yeah,
And the head coach just trotted him out. I could have gotten a few more yards. I have no idea why he trotted him out for a 37-yard field goal and didn't try
Yeah,
and get
you
closer.
talked about it, but who's your guy?
There's just no reason to pay a kicker. You can draft one every 4 years. You draft a new kicker and fine.
or you can find an undrafted guy.
Yep.
Yes,
They're out there, and they're dirt cheap.
That's been my punters and kickers, but I'm paying $10 million for a guy this year, Mr. George, and he's not playing bad.
I mean, I would need to see, and I'd still be hesitant. I would need to see, like for a punter, like 100 kicking power, and like
That's what you
90,
need.
like
That's it.
90 accuracy or whatever the second bar is for a punter.
I don't even need accuracy. Just 100 kicking power, dude. Fucking boom.
I
He's
don't-
punting that shit.
Yeah, with punters,
Or
I don't.
hang
I
time.
don't.
I think that's what it is for the punter, hang time.
I don't even care about punters. Me,
Yeah, I don't-
the kicker.
No, you-
'cause
To me, the
Clay,
punter is just as
that's-
important as the kicker.
Yes.
I think the
the-
punter's
I've,
more
I've
important
talked
than the
about this
kicker.
for years, Clay.
More
You
important.
have to fucking accept special teams. Punters
Field position makes a
Kickers.
difference.
and the guys actually playing special teams. We talked about the Moontown guy that shouldn't be playing special teams right now, but he is. There's no way a starting receiver has fucking 3 special teams that get him off. We can't do that. Special teams is very fucking important.
I wonder if Devontae Adams plays special teams for the Raiders. I'm gonna bet not.
I don't even know real football anymore, gentlemen. So, but
All right, let's go to AC West. We have Gutenberg, Mass Louis, Paris, and Bordeaux.
Well, as Red Zone's been saying, I'm going to go with what I know. That's Gothenburg. That I don't see any reason why he won't win that division again.
yep, Julio's winning this one.
I have to agree.
But we went through it.
I'm rooting for MIJB and Mass Louise.
Yep,
But
I'm rooting
Julio's
for
tough
Mass.
to go
I'm
against.
rooting for Paris.
No, I don't know Paris or Bordeaux, so I can't root for them. I've gotten to know MIJB pretty well. We made a couple trades, and bullshit on
Well,
Slack a little bit.
Alpha's Elf, dude. I mean, he's another one of those guys that always. Well, he's running that. We talked about it earlier. He's just running a pass offense.
Sure, he's a great
throwing a
guy,
little
but
bit.
I know MIJB better, and I'm hoping that Wilson does well for him. And he's
Yeah, you always root for your friends.
I'm gonna go with Mass Lewis.
Really?
Yes.
And what is your reasoning behind that?
They're both putting up a lot of points.
Ronaldo Wilson.
They're both putting up a lot of points, and their defense is just about the same. They're like neck and neck. Mass Lewis only played 5 games. He put up 126 points. Gutenberg played 6. He put up 157. Mass Lewis, his defense is at 123. Gutenberg at 126. So Gutenberg is a little better on his defense. But his quarterback, who I like, Anderson, that Gutenberg has, he's still developing. So I think it's going to be that it's going to come down to like one of the last games or something like that. Look, it is. They play each other last game.
Okay, so you have Mass Louis up.
Yes.
I want you to look at 2 things on Mass Louis.
Go ahead.
I want you to look at the points per game, which is 21st, 24.6.
I saw that.
And he's only forced 4 turnovers in 5 games. That's crazy.
But he hasn't turned over the ball, dude. He's
right, he's not doing anything on defense either.
Man, I turn over the ball a lot, so
4 turnovers he's forced in 5 games. That's less than 1 a game.
God, now I want to get what I fucking have for that.
To me, it's a coin flip. The two. Between the two.
Okay.
No,
this season, what they have, both of them.
Okay, you remember what we talked about earlier, Clay?
What's that?
With, snap finger, only having 4 defensive players that show 50 future or better.
Yes.
Go pull up Julio's team and count them up, because this guy wins with less.
This guy's a master. Again, Julio's the master of.
Well, he's the master of winning with less.
Looking at the defensive players. Yes,
Well, he's got 14.
How many studs does he have on defense?
Outside of the fucking stupid Rexing that I fucking
9, 10.
He's got 14 that are 50 future.
I don't count 55 as a stud though.
I know.
No,
I'm just
but
saying.
you have to click on every player to see what bar they have that he's using them for. That's what I'm fucking trying to do. It's never worked out.
Look at the safety, Riley.
Try to run a cover 2, Tampa 2, like how he does.
Defensive end Baldwin.
That guy alone is making a huge difference. Riley is making a huge difference on the team.
Strong side linebacker, strong. I mean,
pull Riley back up. Where was Riley picked at?
Oh shit!
429.
Yep. Look at that kid.
That's crazy.
4 years old.
Uh-huh.
That is a free safety that I would die for.
That's crazy that he
dropped.
dropped.
More safeties.
That he dropped.
Well, he probably got a 25 or 30 point drop. But pull up the scouting. I mean, increase in PS2 last year. Yeah, there you go. 23 points.
Yep.
And then it looks like he went up again this season.
4 more.
It's like, dude, those fucking safeties are so fucking important. I'm almost like,
well, and I haven't looked recently, but Matt Powell said in the one video, it's hard to find a stud safety in these multiplayer leagues. So when you see one, grab them.
And this guy's perfect. 6 foot, 210 pounds, free safety. Zone coverage off the fucking charts. Interception off the fucking charts.
Endurance?
Yeah. Endurance off the charts. He's in every formation.
Yeah, he can do everything.
Yep.
He's actually the prototype free safety. He's the prototype.
And this is what sucks, because we started talking about this like a number of shows ago about safeties. I barely got Eisenbart this year. And I hope the he fucking pans out.
Now, Gutenberg has a great defense. No questions about it. But his offense, because of the quarterback, he's going back and forth with the quarterback.
Nope, he's out.
Not anymore. He traded the one.
Yeah, he traded Poffenroth.
Anderson's the guy.
Anderson's the guy.
No, I know that. While Anderson develops, I think he's going to be neck and neck with Mass Lewis. And I think Mass Lewis is going to take it by one game only. And he'll win that last game to take the division. That's just my take.
Oh, man.
I think
okay.
Wilson
I like that
will
everyone's different.
I think Wilson will get Mass Luis back in the playoffs. I just don't know if they'll get past Gothenburg and win the division.
Yep. I think wild card.
Let's go to East now. Tucker, Orlando, Snapfinger, and Augusta.
Tucker.
As Red Zone just said, I'm going to go with what I know, Tucker.
Tucker. Yep.
And you know
Orlando
it. You really know it here, don't you?
Trade for an inch. Because
now Orlando looks like he's finally like turning things back around.
Yeah, but he can't because his quarterback got injured, and he just traded for Poffenroth, and we'll see how Poffenroth does. He sounds like Harry Potter or something. I don't even know Harry Potter.
But Orlando had like the best defense in the league for about 5 seasons running, or one of the best. Yes, and his defense just wasn't good in previous seasons. So and he's still got some high-rated players on the team.
So this is a quarterback.
Yeah, I still wish that motherfucker would show up on the show one time. He talks about it every now and again.
Is he in the States or is he overseas?
Don't know.
I want to say he's in the States, but I don't know for sure.
I think he's in the States. He speaks English.
You spoken to him?
He could be in England and speak English.
All right, go over there, motherfucker, and tell me they speak your language.
So, like what the hell does that mean, Grimmer? Like, you just statement made no sense at all.
You gotta love these shows.
Jugs. But Clay, go to his defense. Pull up his defensive roster real quick.
Who that?
Orlando.
Hold on.
Oh my God.
Like look at the players that he has on
Canadian
defense.
there.
Well, let me do by position and do
okay.
this.
Hang on. No matter what he's got, he's not getting past Tucker.
No. I think well, Tucker's going to take it. Yes.
So he's got a couple 60 rated players at defensive end. He's got the 81 rated strong side linebacker, and he's got the 76 rated safety.
Yes, sorted there, Clay.
I mean, his defense should still be better than what it is.
He's got two. He's got a 6. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorted by future over there. Yeah.
Oh, it's going to go all the way up. Hold on.
Yeah, all the way up. There you go. We're looking at defensive players. Logan Furt. I like that kid, too.
So we got him.
And he had fucking a calendar.
Yeah, calendar retired.
Yeah, calendar. Thanks, Drugs. I was like looking for the correct pronunciation, and that was it.
Yeah. Jugs, you're right. He always had a good defense, and then there was, I think, 2 seasons that it fell off.
Yep.
Well, he's got his team around, but I think Tucker's going to take it as well. He'll be in the playoffs if he can keep his injuries down. Now, what about Snapfinger? You think Snapfinger will fall off the cliff, or you think he'll make the playoffs?
Snapfinger's quarterback just...
I love Leach.
Yeah, his bars are insane, but we say that every show.
Yep.
There's just like a disconnect with him paying attention to the league.
No, it wasn't. He just needs... Listen back to the show, Jugs. I love Leach. I love his wide receivers. I talked about, and this is how we started going to the whole defensive player thing. How many defensive players do you have between 50 and 90? 10.
If you go to his roster and you sort by future, he's got 4 defensive players that are 50 or better. Future.
That's it.
4.
Yes.
That's why he's not winning. My opinion. His offense is fine.
1.
We talked about
2.
it. He needs a fucking stud. And he's always in the top 10. So let's draft one of them stud defensive ends. Let's draft one of them stud middle linebackers.
He's too busy grabbing wide receivers.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly.
I mean, and again, unless you're running T-Zac's offense, how many 60-plus rated wide receivers do you really need on your team?
Well, I'd like to have 4.
True. Yes, I would love that too. But
And you would never, ever be able to get them all the ball.
No.
T-Zac's defense is awesome, though, too. So,
Yeah.
I
mean,
love
look,
Frank
Frank,
Elise.
look, you got his player card up. His record is 56 and 105 and 3. He's a 74 rated quarterback. That's just unacceptable.
Yep.
Well, I didn't notice that. Wow, that's terrible.
I mean, he doesn't pay attention, and his cap number is 101 million. He just doesn't pay attention enough.
Yeah.
I mean, if he paid
pain
more
in the ass.
attention, he'd probably have a couple better defensive players.
But he's paying attention to off. Jugs, he doesn't have anyone on defense.
Well, then
Right?
you
That's
pay
what I'm
attention
saying.
and
Like,
draft
if he was
some.
paying attention, like, okay, pull up his roster again. How much cap room does he have?
A ton, I'll bet.
No, 18. That's not a ton.
Okay, so he probably signed his quarterback to an extension
Yep.
because I don't know if it was last year or the year before. He was entering the season with something like 60 or 70 million in cap room.
Okay, but he's got 130 million next year, plus the increase.
Which is 5 million.
Okay.
Again, I'll just go back to the fact that if he drafts.
Look, he has his nickel corner is 19 out of 35. His safety is 32 out of 49. I mean,
Yes.
there's probably somebody in free agency better.
I don't know about that, but we talked about.
I can
him
guarantee
having
you there's a better nickel corner than 19 rated in free agency. I guarantee you that.
One
The guy
thing
doesn't
I'll,
even have his own bar, and he has him playing nickel.
Yep.
one thing I'll say is if you look at the players on 1-year deals, they're older. He's using them, but he didn't re-sign them. He didn't cripple his cap. He's got the
No,
cap.
again,
He's got the cap
just
figured out. He's
Grab
in good
yourself
shape
a
there.
fucking pass rusher and a cornerback, a linebacker. Well, I can't.
By the
even
time
say that.
by the time he does that, Leach is gone.
Yeah,
Leach is gone.
will be
You're
in
right.
year
We
14.
talked about it earlier. Yep. We talked about it earlier. He's got to get some defensive guys and develop him. He's got the wide receivers. He's got the tight ends.
Dude,
What he should do is trade one of the wide receivers for a
Can he
first round pick, and then use that to build the defense up.
Can you trade a wide
You realize
receiver
Leach-
anymore in
He's
this
got
league?
Grimmer. He's got 3. He
I
can
know.
trade one
but
of them.
can he trade one of them?
yeah.
Yes, he's got 3.
God, they all went, dude. I sat out like half the trade discussion between Bob and Chris. Look at, I love that kid.
He's not
That's
even
his
playing.
third wide receiver.
No,
or that might be his
that's
fourth wide receiver.
This is fourth.
He's got an 88 route running bar,
You
and he's
realize,
not even
me.
using him.
Judd, you realize that Leach is 34 in his 11th season.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I say he'll be gone year 14.
Yeah, that's why he needs to fucking get some defensive players. No, trade one of them. Dude, I will trade Bill Hamilton for that
No, you
wide
won't.
receiver that was
No,
just
you,
pulled
no,
up.
you won't. No, you stop lying. No, you won't.
But who?
His stud defensive end. No, you
Oh.
won't.
He's not a stud defensive end. He's playing strong.
Well, he's not playing like a stud defensive end.
Nope. Yeah, he
But
dropped this
but
year.
he's still what,
Motherfucker.
75 rated or whatever it is.
Yeah, he's all right. I'm going back to defensive end.
All right. Let's
Yeah.
jump up to the AC South.
All right, so who's
AC
winning
South
that?
confuses
Wait,
me every single year. I have no idea who to pick, and every time I pick somebody, somebody else wins.
We got Houston, Atlanta, San Antonio.
who
and
we pick?
We all picked Tucker.
Tucker? All right.
Houston, Atlanta, San Antonio, and Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne
This
is
is
another
hard.
surprise. I didn't think he'll be having a hard time this season, but
I'm gonna say this about Fort Wayne, and Grimmer and I have talked about this, and I even talked with Red Zone about this. He's actually built his team to be a power running team.
Yep.
But he doesn't have a quarterback. He doesn't even have a quarterback who can complete a pass on third down. Like that's killing him.
Yep.
He can
As
run
well.
every first and second down if he actually had a quarterback that was capable of completing passes on third
Yeah,
down.
we
That's
talked about
his
this.
quarterback.
Yeah, we talked about Cushman. Donovan should have been a good replacement. Donovan.
Donovan's
talked
not
about Fort Wayne.
Donovan's a good quarterback.
No, he's not.
You can do a lot with this guy.
I could do a lot with
A
that
lot
guy.
better than what he's doing with him right now. 3 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
Does he have any
passing
wide
rating.
receivers?
No,
I don't know about
and
that.
he doesn't.
Let's see. Let's check.
Fort Wayne has not. That is why Fort Wayne got rid of Cushman, because he only had running backs to throw. He doesn't have any wide receivers.
That's a running back.
The Slam hasn't had wide receivers. Maybe he's got. I mean, I can work with tight ends too. Some of them guessed.
Clay, pull his roster up
Sure.
and sort it by starter. Yeah, you sort it by starter.
Okay, let me get to his team.
You got a screen.
Okay, now click on the left tackle and just scroll down where his left tackle is, and
Right here?
just go down. No, pull a player card up for the left tackle. Okay, so 82 run blocking. Go to next.
Should be fine.
77 run blocking. Go to next.
Should be fine.
95 run blocking. Go to next.
Should be fine.
73 run blocking. Go to next.
Should be fine.
94 run blocking. Go to
Should
next.
be fine. Why is
He should be running the ball 40 times a game at
With
5.5
who?
yards
Who's
a
he got?
clip and
He
just
doesn't
throwing
have-
on third down. His quarterback is not good enough to throw on third down.
No, who's he got though? He lost his guy. He lost his big fucking guy last year.
Who?
Wozniak. Is he not running anymore?
It's right here. Rosiak is running.
Wozniak's running. He's got Carton. He's got 2 guys that are over 5 yards a carry.
Then what the fuck's going on?
And then
Is he
he's
trying to pass.
he's running 3 guys. These are the 3 guys he's running.
Yep.
I mean, you can't help but have success running the ball when you got an offensive line that good at run blocking.
Right.
He
right.
needs a quarterback who can complete third down passes.
We don't
that's
need
it.
that.
That's
Now,
it.
let
He
me-
doesn't need
let me
anything
tell
else
you
on
this.
offense. Just a quarterback who can complete third downs.
Fucking Worcester sauce has run 150 times this fucking year.
Well,
150 plus.
he's not putting up points. He's only putting up 19 points per game. He's giving up 28 points per game. So his defense is not helping him at all. But going back up, good.
If he could hold the ball and complete third downs, he'd have time of possession in his favor, and his defense wouldn't be on the field as long, and they wouldn't be as bad. Again, this all goes back to the quarterback. If he had a quarterback, he'd be okay.
He's got one. Donovan
what-
is
what-
not a bad quarterback. I don't understand why the guy can't just like.
Well, look at
manage
Donovan's
games.
stats for the last since he came in the league. I don't think he's ever had a good season.
Let's take a look.
They're decent.
It looks like his second year was okay when he was a part-time starter, and other than that, no.
No, he hasn't done anything yet. 0. Those terrible starts.
I mean, average yards per attempt 5.44, 5.76 last 2 seasons.
Man,
I mean, that's basically a running play. You might as well just run the ball.
yep. Says the guy who has Logan Kornick.
So
Pull
who
up
you,
his. Pull up
And the
his
guy who has Eichhorst and the guy who has Socha. I can't.
Pull up his game against me. Look at the box score.
the game against you.
Harlem.
Okay.
Tells you everything you need to know.
Let's look at it right now.
14 out of 38.
Oh, because he got stopped in the run. But why? Why not run?
He ran 22 times for 169 yards. I don't think we stopped him.
If he runs 40 times, it's probably a different game.
Yep.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm running Worcester fucking.
I actually watched one. I can't remember what game it is. I watched one of his games on Soul Vision. It may have been this one. I'm not sure. But he came out passing. And I'm sitting there thinking in my head, like, you got an offensive line with a total run blocking across the board averaging like 85. Why are you coming out passing?
Why do that for starters? Guys that
I would just run until somebody stopped me. I mean, that he has an offensive line like what I had 20 seasons ago when I had Doug Gross and all those big bullies up on the offensive line.
Remember Gross?
All right, guys. Houston, Atlanta.
Look at
San
Atlanta's
Antonio.
roster real quick. Look at Atlanta's defensive
He's fine.
line.
Will Meadows is fine. His guy retired though, didn't he?
We like Atlanta, actually.
Yes, we love Kevin. Swain's fucking awesome. Sort by position over on his roster though.
No,
Is
here we
Ethan
go.
still
Here
there?
are
No,
the starters.
His guy retired.
Well,
Kendrick's still there. Yes.
Oh, what are you looking for? What are you looking for?
Ethan
so
Kendrick.
look.
Oh, you want position?
Right.
Yeah,
Look at the defensive line. So because the one guy's not starting, so he has a 76 rated defensive tackle and an 81 rated defensive tackle.
Yes.
Wow.
So do you?
But here's what doesn't make any sense. Why is he giving up 121 yards on the ground with those two guys? I don't understand that.
I don't know, because his linebackers suck.
Yeah,
They all
maybe.
suck.
That's
Looks
probably
like
it.
Linebackers suck to me.
He's playing.
I got
Probably,
good linebackers.
He's probably playing a 3-4, and I
Yep.
know Red Zone mentioned this. If you have bad linebackers, you're going to get run on, right?
Yep.
But his
That's
offense his running game is okay. He's 187 yards a game at 5.5 yards a clip.
Dude, this guy made the playoffs last year, and we weren't doing shows, so I don't look more into. But Ethan Kendricks has been there the entire time, and look at what he's got now.
Yes, he's at
7 yards a
6.8
carry.
yards a carry.
82. It's like fuck.
Oh yeah, but what's hurting him is that he's not putting up points. He's only putting up 22 points per game.
He's got number one rushing offense in the league.
Well, he played
he made the
Chicago,
playoffs.
whose defense is good. He played
Yep.
Toronto, whose defense is good.
It's good.
He
Yep.
played Tucker, whose defense is good. So he played 3 teams in a row, and those are the 3 losses he had where the defenses were good.
Yep, hard schedule. Now he's got Houston at home, which I think was a division game. He can win that.
It's a good game for him.
Then at Fort Wayne, he's got the yeah. Okay,
I
so
don't know who to pick in this division. I never know who to pick. It seems like there's
It's
a
hard,
different
man.
winner every
I want to
year.
go Chris Jugs, but
Chris's defense isn't too good this year.
it's going to get better. He switched to 3-4 this year. He's got the line. We talked about it.
Hmm. I'm going to go with Atlanta. Last season they took the division. I think they'll take it again.
Fort Wayne collapse is a disappointment.
I'm gonna go. You said you're gonna go with Atlanta. I'm gonna go with Houston.
Yeah, I'm going to take fucking Kevin with Houston. He's got my fucking shit guy from last year, Delay, but he's going to start Ammons once he comes back. So,
All right. Red Zone, who do you say?
I'm looking here. 5,
That's always the hardest division to pick. Like I say, it's always tough for me.
I'm just looking at strength of schedule the rest of the way.
Jugs, Chris ain't giving up though, right?
I'm
No,
going.
he ain't gonna give up.
Yeah, I ain't giving up either. You're right.
I'm going to go with Houston just because I think Atlanta has a tougher schedule. But they're going to be very close.
And then last is Toronto, Plainfield, Harlem, and Rochester.
Well, I think we're all gonna pick Toronto,
Yes.
even with the new general manager, like as he drives his Ferrari.
Yep. He don't want to crash his friend's car.
I love it.
But he's a passing team, so dude, I'm hoping you're gifted a brand new stadium. A 99, you're selling 100,000 people in your stadium. You gifted Moontown's pick next year.
Here's the thing, and Mock's numbers are actually better because there's a little bit of balance to the offense.
Yep. But he won't. He's gonna. There's still running backs on that team. He won't.
I mean, he'll run the ball 15 times a game.
Yeah.
Which honestly is enough to keep the defense guessing.
That's true.
But I mean, you can't just sit and pass defense every single play if you actually got a running back who's going to get 4.5, 5 yards a carry.
Yeah,
so I think Mock will be more efficient. I mean, he's not going to throw for 500 yards every single week, but he'll throw for 400 and probably 4 touchdowns and no picks.
So you think if he gets 1.1 and there's a quarterback there, he's taking the quarterback?
I would, yeah.
Well, I wish the boy was on the show.
I know.
He would tell. He already said he was going to fuck it up, so.
How's he going to blow 1.1?
It's going to take him 4 or 5 seasons to fuck that team up. And that he ain't going to do. He's not going to fuck.
He's not going to fuck that team up.
He knows how to draft. So.
Well, does he know how to?
He knows
nobody's drafting as well as T-Zach Ben or Mac Powell.
Yeah,
who's missing in action.
Derek complains about his drafting skills. He doesn't complain about his fucking ability to get a guy and do some shit. He was Iowa when Eric Keith was a fucking thing. That's a long time ago, but many championships, many playoffs, many whatever. Iowa was shit when Derek ran. So, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the shift is. Bob's got his game plan kind of worked out.
Well, who's going to get 1.1? Let's see.
It's going to be Toronto.
Well,
yeah.
You got Bordeaux. Hold on. You got Augusta, Bordeaux.
Moontown's not going to win a game.
Moontown's not going to win.
You don't think he'll win a game?
Yep.
Let's see which game would
Nope.
he win?
None of them.
Yeah.
Thank God I got him.
You're right.
He'll probably beat me.
Let's just say he wins one game. Mm-hmm. Somebody else will win 2.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, you guys are correct.
Yeah. Slam's going to win. Slam, he's got to win at least 4 more. He's not giving up.
Well, Augusta. He's got.
Brian's fucking got some pride. Win some fucking games, dude. You ain't going to be 1-5. You ain't going to be 1-15. Win some fucking games.
Hanley?
Bordeaux?
Yeah, Bordeaux.
Hanley, yeah.
Bordeaux and Hanley, yeah. Come on.
I think Hanley is finally, what is it, year 3 of Mac Powell not paying attention now?
Mm-hmm. Don't matter, Brent's not going to kick him out.
I think they finally suffered enough to where they're going to go 2-14.
Yeah, he can't resign, but why?
I'm just, and look, I know Ben and Mac Powell are friends. I'm just not understanding why he won't replace him. The guy, he hasn't submitted a foul in 3 seasons.
Yeah, I understand.
So you're seeing Moontown pick 1-1. You think Augusta and Hanalei will either come in at 1-2, 1-2, 1-3?
I think Hanalei will probably be. Hanalei's definitely going to be top 5. Probably, I don't know, 2-3, somewhere around there.
And Bordeaux and Augusta around the same.
I think Augusta will win a couple more games. I think Bordeaux will win a couple more games.
Yeah,
I think Fort Wayne will win a couple more games.
I think if Brian just went more run heavy, I think he can fucking get some more wins.
Well, that's it for tonight, fellas. It was good. That was really
good show.
Good.
God damn, we went a long time. There's going to be people that have long rights to work that enjoy this, so.
Yeah, it's been a while. Oh, by the way, Jugs, Happy New Year. Merry Christmas to you.
Happy New Year.
So, yeah, I'll end it here with our